Not me.
Welcome to Calgary. I'm Jared Dienda. Next to me is Andrew Coley. And guess what? We are back on ice. Well, it's a little melted here, but this is the Calgary Nitro Rallycross Stampede. This is going to be an awesome race where for the second time ever, these Nitro Rallycross all-electric FC1Xs are going to be on the snow and the ice. But to talk about it, it's a little melted. You can see my coat's off. We were expecting sub-freezing temperature, but now we have what's called the Chinook, and it's kind of melted the track a little bit.
It has, yes. So there's a festival here called the Chinook Blast, which is what this Nitro Rallycross event was coming to be a big part of. Unfortunately, the Chinook Blast is where the weather comes in. The temperatures have come up by 25 Celsius. That's a lot in Fahrenheit. Yeah. And so basically, Jared's in a t-shirt. Have you got my...
oh, yeah. I know you're going to need some of that.
Brits abroad, you know, so I'll be boshing that on later on. But we're also going to be putting on a proper show because conditions might have changed. We've still got a massive jump behind us here. We've still got a couple of bank corners. We've still got a long, crazy joker lap going through a tunnel. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, some amazing talent behind the wheels of these vehicles. So you know what? We'll just shut up. Let's go ahead. Let's send it.
So that's the Calgary skyline. We're at Calgary Stampede venue, almost in the city centre. We've got another amazing ice track. Last time round, we had no idea who was going to be quick on this incredibly tricky surface. This time round, we know if your name isn't Ericsson, you're not at the top of the form list.
It was perfect for us, you know, both doing what we should in our heats there, getting the front row. From there we just talked it over, you know, and then we executed our plan to perfection, get the gap out to turn 2. From there, you know, we still race each other. The win was still up for grabs, just as long as one of us wins, you know. I felt kind of good, you know, taking the joker early, catching up to him. I showed I was quick out there, so it was good fun.
We had some changes to the track. They put some tire barrels out, so for sure everyone will be cautious the first lap, and especially the first corner. I knew there was plenty of good grip, especially in the morning, because we have fresh ice. I had a plan. I didn't really expect me to go out there. I had a good launch, and we both passed backwards, so and then I just went for it.
The track here in Calgary looks awesome. It's super fast. It's going to be tight on lap times, I think. Everyone has got a race under their belt now on ice, so for sure everyone is better prepared for this one, but yeah, that doesn't exclude us also. So it's just going to be a tough one as always in Nitro, and just do every detail to perfection and we might get away with it.
Now, the Ericsson stood on the top step of the podium on race day, but the day before qualifying, it was this man, Fraser McConnell, who was a bit of a surprise to the whole field when he took the top qualifier spot. He'd never even driven on ice until the week before. We're in Calgary, 1988 Winter Olympics, the famous Jamaican bobsleigh teams, cool running. It'd be great if Fraser McConnell can make some history here this weekend as well.
Temperature gets more warmer, ground gets softer, more slushy. I think a lot of things need to change. You know, the weather in Calgary here has been minus 25, minus 30 for the last week, so, you know, don't really know what to expect, but they're going to go out there and trust my instincts and do the job as usual.
Per usual, Andrew Coley is on the money as it relates to all things rallycross. But it's time to give you a little inside scoop, literally, as to what's happening here at Stampede Park. Now, the pits, as you can see all around me, it's all inside. Guys are enjoying it. They can take the coats off. They can relax a little bit and warm up between the ice races. Another thing that's really fascinating is there's a lot of dirt. You see this on the ground? Yeah, that's interesting. So we have that ice, that little slush, plus his dirt. It's making it real interesting for the gentleman out on the racetrack. Meanwhile, a guy who really showed up at the racetrack today is Mr. Chris Meek. And I'm going to interrupt his conversation here because you really topped the charts out there. And it was really funny. We were standing around with all the guys watching, and they're like, whoa, 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 what did he just do?
Yeah, really happy. I had no idea, obviously, to have seen the lap time. The spotter came on and said it was quickest by 1.4 seconds on a 40-second lap. I was, are you sure? And actually, if you look at the split times, my middle sector, I was the slowest out of anybody, because that's the long straight before the first chicane. And I couldn't get third gear. Then once you go too high in the revs, there's a software default that won't allow you to take third gear. So I done the whole back straight in second gear. I was like, come on. So honestly, in my head, I thought I blew it. I couldn't understand why the lap was so good. But obviously, everything's working well. We had a really bad weekend in Troy-Riviere, but as we spoke earlier, we need a bit of bounce back ability, and that's put me in good form for the weekend.
Yeah, this would be a good recovery for sure. Now, we talk about that long joker lap. Man, that is massive. How, as a driver, does that change the game?
Yeah, every driver in the paddock, we had a practice session this morning. We were only allowed to enter the joker lap once, so we've only seen that part of the track once, and the joker lap's 50% longer than a normal lap. It's plus 18 seconds, so there's a lot of track there, a lot of time to make up time or lose time. So yeah, these kids for sure are going to learn fast. They're going to be on my heels before long, but yeah, it's going to be everything to play for. Being fast in qualifying only gets you, you're allowed to pick what side of the track you want to start on. You're basically on pole position, so it's a help, but yeah, we're going to have to be on our game.
These kids out there. That's funny. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We're making history here in Calgary. I've never been here. I mean, I've been to the West Coast, been to the East Coast. What did you expect when you hear the word Calgary or coming here? What did you expect?
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be a crazy place where they're into, stampeding and riding bulls and all the. I mean, we got this incredible venue. Here's a look at it in some of the
Cowboys,
famous
Cowgirls.
Calgary Stampede venue. Millions of visitors coming to the greatest outdoor show on earth is what they call it. It looks a bit different under the snow and ice, but Jared, I went skiing last night at the 1988 Olympic venue where Eddie the Eagle did his ski jumping and the Jamaican bobsleigh team were. You went out as well.
Yeah, I went golfing. So even with snow on the ground, just the diversity of places to eat and drink and just have a good time. So come on up and check out Calgary. Our boys Martel and Robin Larson, seems like they've already had a good time here in Calgary.
Thank you, Tourism Calgary, for such an awesome time. We did so many different activities. We're super excited to be here in Calgary, and I'm so excited to race this track. Let's go get it.
Here we go then, time for NRX Next, our support category up here in Calgary. They weren't with us in Trois-Rivières, so it's the first time we've seen them on the ice. Those are the standings. George McGuinness leads, but he hasn't turned up this weekend, and this is a championship weekend. We're crowning a North American champion for NRX Next. Casper Janssen and Jimmy Henderson look absolutely equal on points, so they're going to have one race today and one race tomorrow, which will decide which of them, unless there's a complete disaster, of course, and Vakela could maybe sneak in from somewhere further back. But yeah, championship deciding weekend for NRX Next. Jared, decent crowd. I've had to put my coat back on. They've opened the doors in here. It's got a bit chilly. Here's a look at the track for NRX Next. They're on the same track that we're using for the Group E cars. Super long joker here, and those guys were out ripping this morning.
Yeah, you could just see the conditions. Obviously, we talk about the Chinook that came through, but the Stampede is what's more important, both on track and off track. The Calgary Stampede, the venue, the half mile of hell, because normally they actually put the horse in front of the carriage.
I see. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But just seeing the fans stroll in, and this is day one, right? So it's all about the Stampede, doing some good competition, going to see some amazing talent behind the wheel, and some raging fans in the stands. Thank you so much for joining us here. Again, making history once again here in Calgary. And it's beautiful to see these vehicles out here on the snow and the ice. Also, let's mention it once again. We did a lot most recently in Montreal, but hashtag KB forever. You'll see those stickers on the vehicle. Nitro Rallycross making the statement they are retiring the number 43 in the entirety of the Nitro Rallycross season. All right, here we go. Jimmy Henderson, Casper Janssen on pole. You got Lane Vakela and Eric Gordon. We got 15 seconds to start here in 5. So here we go. Excited to see. They got a little squirrely. Did you watch practice earlier?
Yeah, I was here this morning, saw them go out then, and the conditions have changed, Jared, where the temperatures come up. They have got a bit of slush. It's almost standing water, and so there's aquaplaning on top of the ice, which is mad. It's different. We'll be learning it as they learn it.
It's all nitro, baby. That's what you come to expect, right? So light the fuse and let's send it. Let's blow it up as we are seeing our first action here that really counts. NRX Next heat with these 4 shredders. Again, Casper Janssen, definitely one to watch. Here we go, 3 laps. The Joker lap needs to be utilized once and only once. The Yokohama Terra Joker lap. See how they're getting squirrely, even on the straightaway. They get a little loose.
So they've put the chicaning up at the back because I say the conditions are getting so slippery out there. They just need to make sure the entry speed is safe. You know, yeah, we're Nitro. Yeah, it's a great race series, but the banking isn't as high here, Jared. Remember Trois Rivières, the banking had a significant angle on it, and that's not the same. Second chicane on the way out as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you talk about the chicane and how it's shaped and what's going on here. I don't know if it's going to be better or worse that it's flat as opposed to, bank that we saw in Montreal. But look at that, going over that Nitro jump. Casper Janssen out front, Henderson sitting second, Vakela in third, and Gordon sitting in fourth.
Super slippery up in turn 1. It's pretty tight turn. Well, we say turn 1. It's the first corner after the jump.
Right.
It's not technically turn 1 anymore, is it? It's after the start finish. Look at the sheet ice on the left.
Yep.
Beautiful bit of track there. That's not seeing the traffic, but the sun is beating down. Yesterday, it's gone up from minus 24 Celsius. I'll do the Celsius, you do the Fahrenheit, and it was plus 10 yesterday. And Jared's literally he's in a t-shirt. He's going to convert it. He's getting get the weather forecast.
Right now, it's 42 degrees Fahrenheit.
There you go. Yeah, but what was it? So it was when it was cold,
like 25 degrees.
Yeah, but last week it was
well, freezing is 32 in
right.
Fahrenheit.
So it was minus 26 centigrade.
Carry the one, and let's just stick to announcing cars.
A lot.
We're not meteorologists, but what we do know is that things are going down here, and you can see there lap 2 of 3, and look at all that slush accumulating. You got to think 300 spikes in all these tires. What's going down? The tire from next to the Group E vehicles a little different.
It is different, yeah, exactly. So we've got the super long studs on the Group E cars. These guys are running the teeny little studs.
Yeah.
They're not running the rally tires, which we saw last time in Trois Rivières, which is the narrow tire, and that then gives you a bit more pressure down into the road. And we're going to see Jimmy Henderson go Joker here. So Casper Janssen's gone standard lap. Our first look at the Joker with NRX next. Little crest dip in, then it's a double right and a left before they drop down here into the tunnel.
That could get sketchy right there. That's going to be, I think, when we start seeing more cars, and especially the Group E going up and under, and you got to think about all that water accumulation, all that.
And for me, Jared, as well, is the braking point into this right-hander. You're coming up from a dip. You can't see it, remember. They're unsighted. You're coming over a crest and the car's getting light, and I'll be keeping my eye on that. The Joker, I'm told the Delta, the Group E guys this morning, before they put the chicanes in on the main track, was 18 seconds.
That is massive.
Crazy. So a lot of chances to make a mistake in there.
All right, so Lane Vakela, you can see Henderson taking the Joker lap. There's the only 2 racers, and you talk about the 18 seconds. Look at Henderson with 18.5. So again, here's the Yokohama Terra Joker predictor, that huge, massive delta. They say Casper Janssen's going to lose first, but you can see how tight of a tolerance it actually is.
And I'll bet, Jared, as well, that delta was from previous data before they put the chicanes in. So they put the chicanes in as a condition to change. Here comes Janssen. Now watch on this braking zone. He comes up over the crest of the right hand. You can see if he's down low. They just can't see it. There's a bit of a wider view, and you can see everything was covered in ice literally 3 days ago, and it's just been, the Chinook has come in and it's been super hot.
All right, so here we go. Everybody hitting that Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and looks like Casper Janssen will hold on to it. And then there's Gordon, Henderson, and Vakela. So Casper Janssen there goes to the finish line. And there we go. Casper Janssen gets the victory. 3 laps in, and Gordon and Vakela coming on in.
5.4 seconds, Jared. That's a pretty dominant victory from Janssen. He would have expected McGuinness to turn up this weekend and potentially have to really scrabble for that championship fight. He's equal with Jimmy Henderson, but I think that's quite a statement.
All right, there are the results. Casper Janssen, the lone Swede, getting the victory. Jimmy Henderson, Lane Vakela, and Eric Gordon. So congratulations to Casper Janssen winning the NRX Next Heat, making history here in Calgary. Look at that. That's is that where you skied last night?
I wish. No, I didn't quite have time to go up to Lake Louise. No, I was at the Windsport facility, the old Olympic Park, just outside. But look at that.
That's beautiful. I want to come back to Calgary. I'm telling you right now. Tommy and I had a great day yesterday. We had lunch. We had sushi. We just had just a bro date. Take a look at this ladder here. You can see Meek just in dominant fashion. So the only battle we're going to see is Bennett and Martel. But you can see as they advance on, you see Meek, Lars Bryson McConnell. What do you got?
Well, I think what's interesting, Jared, is if Bennett wins his battle, he faces his teammate straight away. So that's a bummer for Excite Energy Racing. They would have liked to have been, on the other opposite sides. All the teams really want to be on opposite sides. That gives you the best chance of going further in the draw. But that's the way it goes. Got to beat Martel to get there anyway.
It's all about the road to the finish line, the Nitro Rallycross Stampede. Absolutely beautiful backdrop here, and again with the temperatures, you can see no clouds in the sky. But look at that, it just bears repeating. That massive Joker, that's not just one Joker, that's a whole army of Jokers. That's how long this thing is, 18 seconds, almost 19 seconds. And we saw, just earlier today, seeing what's going on there, how you can gain time, and it's just amazing.
It's long and really technical. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. Sun going down, temperature is going down with it. That is a packed stadium.
It's so great.
Like, they'd have been here if it was minus 20. Look at that.
I've seen a few seats open, and I'm hearing that a few seats are open. So if you want to attend in person, come on out, buy tickets. But you got to act now. I'm telling you, just get involved. The fans, they love this stuff. And I was told by somebody who lives not too far from here, the fans know a lot about Rallycross. They know cars. They know kind of outdoors adventure stuff. It's a great market. So really excited to be here. Got his stunner shades on there. That's Connor Martel wearing the yellow shades. Maybe elaborate a little bit on that. That played a big role, especially under the lights in Montreal.
Yeah, I do what. Funny enough, this time of night, Jared, I reckon important. Although also, should he get the sun in his eyes, they basically sharpen when it's flat light. If you've ever been skiing, put the orange goggles on. When it's flat light, if it's grey and cloudy, it allows you to pick things out. Here they'll be looking for where's the shiny ice, where's the standing water, where's the slush, trying to find a bit of grip. So Martel's gone for that, and it's him versus Bennett. Knockout format, remember, the winner goes through.
All right, so Bennett in that Excite Energy, My Energy vehicle. Connor Martel, you can see him in that line lock there. All electric, 1,000 horsepower, making history here in Calgary. The Vermont sports car vehicle, Connor Martel. And from what I understand, Toronto's like minus 15. Vermont is like minus 20 something. I'm talking Fahrenheit here, but what do you got?
It was so funny. Someone told me, in Trois-Rivières, we were going, it's a little bit too hot for the ice. Apparently it's freezing over there this weekend. So we just got it the wrong way round.
And here we are. Here are the stats for our first battle, round 1, race 2. As we are seeing Meek already advance on, you can see what's going on here. Qualifying in the events, championship points, battle results. Connor Martel, Ollie Bennett, America versus UK. Ollie Bennett on that side. Looks like we are getting ready to send it here. We're going to count him down. Who's going to utilize this course the best? Such a unique experience if you've never seen Group E and obviously, the FC1X, because all you hear is just kind of the whiz and the bang of the snow and the ice, but not so much the combustion engine. Oh, going right for the Joker lap right out of the gate.
I don't think he's allowed to go for the Joker on lap 0, Jared, so I think he should have waited until the second lap. I might be wrong. Yes, it's 2.5 laps, so he's not allowed to do that, so Bennett's going to get a penalty. So basically, because they start halfway around the track, although it's 2 times past the finish line, there's that half lap run from the start, which goes up past the Joker lap. And I'm afraid Bennett's gone in early. I'm pretty confident Jared's going to get a DQ for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, just given that, we're doing the Stampede, we want to, you only got 2 laps. I think it's kind of fun. Do it. Get out of the right of the way. But look, I'm not a steward. We're just announcers.
Yeah, exactly. So rules is rules, aren't they?
Rules are rules, for sure.
Martel got in quite significantly off the start. A number of the drivers were telling me that in Trois-Rivières, and this is something we don't see, unfortunately, is they have a push to pass, which gives them an amount of extra power which they can use for 10 seconds in a race, and they use it literally like a second here and a second there. So like back at Liddon Hill, right at the start of the season, they were all using it up the hill because that's where they wanted the extra grunt. But here, a lot of them were using it off the start, and a number of them, Kevin Eriksson said he teed up his brilliant pass around the outside at Trois-Rivières by using all that extra power off the line. So I don't know whether or not Martel did that at the time, but yeah, nicely done. Bennett gone back in again.
Turned around.
Okay, but that's if you've gone wrong direction in a Joker lap, that's almost certainly a DQ as well. So he's going through the whole rule book, isn't he?
Yeah.
I admire that. 10 out of 10 for effort.
Yeah.
I'll come back out. I didn't mean it.
I mean, we love Ollie Bennett, and just talking to him right before he went out there. Yeah, just a great dude. Looking forward to it. That was that jump you're talking about. Coming out of the Joker, you're kind of going to blind over crest. I feel like this is more Chris Meek than it is Rallycross. You need a navigator right over crest over here. here.
Martel did well there to get the rotation, Jared, because he was all locked up in the way and clips the bank on the left-hand side. That's big commitment from Martel coming out onto the front straight now. This is Bennett coming around the outside. Of course, he's lost a load of time, unfortunately. You can see a huge gap.
That chicane, Connor Martel, I got to tell you, executed both those really properly. Didn't slow down too much, just enough to just quickly kind of meander and go through the chicane. So Connor Martel gets the win with some early mistakes, unfortunately, by Ollie Bennett by taking that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. So Connor Martel would go against the fastest by almost 1.5 seconds of Mr. Chris Meek.
Yeah, nice, easy win for Martel. Yeah, Bennett, I say, it doesn't matter whether he broke the rules or not. You know, he's been beaten on the track as well.
Yeah.
So game over for Ollie Bennett. He'd be disappointed with that, Jared. Well, there we go.
Connor a bit stoic there.
So he doesn't exactly look like he's over the moon either, does he?
Yeah,
So.
I mean, Connor's, he's always got a really good attitude. I haven't really seen too much kind of anger from him, but look at that, just gapping him right out of the gate, taking the Gapplebees. That quick little chicane, I mean, getting tight to that, and that's where it went wrong, right out of the gate for Ollie Bennett, hitting that Joker lap. He did quickly turn it around. Yeah, I bet you a spotter was like, no, what are you doing, mate? Turn around. Congratulations, Connor Martel gets the checkered flag. Taking a look at this beautiful skyline here, just a massive facility. We're staying right there downtown. Variety of establishments, and it seems that the semifinals are set, or the quarterfinals, excuse me, but Meek and Martel, Larson versus McConnell, and the Eriksson brothers. Look at that. Eriksson's going against each other. And then you got Travis Pastrana going against Backerud. And when I say going against, they most recently went against each other because Travis got in the way of Backerud at 12 Riviere, and you know, we make light of it, but it seems like they squashed it. There was definitely some anger there, but yeah. All right.
Absolutely packed. Look, fantastic to see so many people here. They'll be pleased it's not too cold, but there we go.
A-Shock Energy, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Going down here at Linden Hill. Oh!
Pastrana goes round, contact in the background.
Robin Larson, the RX Cartel, shocked the world.
Absolutely unstoppable.
Skoll, welcome to the land of Vikings. Whoa!
Absolutely brilliant.
Look at Backerud's sense of blazing times. He gets the win. The Backerud Blue.
Now we're talking.
We will not go out without a fight. We will prevail.
ERX, baby. That's American stuff.
Pastrana jumps super long, takes the lead immediately.
He throws up the fist, and there we go. Travis Pastrana gets the win. That's right, Glen, hell, and back. It's Halloween weekend.
Perfect, but Fraz is flying.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be a first ever Nitro Rallycross victory for Fraser McConnell. Look at that.
Round 5, under the lights in Arizona.
Huge jump. Whoa!
Gets it. The checkered flag is Travis Pastrana.
The first double winner this year.
We're at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park.
Backward rolls, enormous crash, end over end.
Larson dives in on the inside.
Larson gonna jump into the sunset here in Phoenix.
Pumping the roof. He's excited.
Bonjour, we are here at Trois Rivières.
First time on ice, first time on snow.
Look at the Erikssons, massive gap for them.
Ollie Eriksson gets the victory.
First ever win.
earning that top qualifier in Trois-Rivières. Now, coming around here to Calgary on the other side of Canada, for you, let's initial thoughts on the big picture of this track.
No, first of all, big up all the Calgary fans that have made it out, Stampede Park and the whole Calgary Stampede, Tourism Calgary, everyone involved have made this pull off. It's an incredible event already and we just started. But yeah, we're in Calgary. It's not the coldest, but I'm not complaining. It's the same for everybody. So we're gonna go out there, put on a show, and show everyone what Nitro is all about.
You talk about the show. One thing that we really loved about Trois was all of that bobsled action. How much are you feeling the bobsled action here in Calgary? Obviously, a very pivotal spot.
Well, this is the hometown of Jamaica's Olympic Winter Games debut. Winter Olympics '88. The Jamaicans heading down the bobsled chute for the first time. So we're doing the same thing here at Calgary Stampede and putting on a show.
Okay, so what does that mean for you? Is it really Jamaica style, or are you going to have to really put on a helmet that has to do with slush?
Full send.
Full send. As it relates to the track, the hardest point?
The starts are going to be crucial, but the field is so competitive. It's going to be anyone's to take. So you can count on me to go flat out.
Lastly, anything about the Jamaica? What's the feel the rhythm? Feel the
right. Get on up. It's rallycross time.
Well done there.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, just good energy. And Fraz has just been such a good compliment to the sport. I know Katie just posted a photo on social media, and just the diversity of all the countries. It's a spec class, from tires to vehicles to all that, but it's far from a spec driver pool. That's what I really love about it, and just having a packed stadium here. The sun's setting. What's your thoughts?
Well, Rallycross is 56 years old today. The first ever event was held at Lynn Hill today, that long ago. And traditionally, it's been a European sport, and particularly a Scandinavian sport. So to have a Jamaican at the forefront, at the pinnacle of the sport, for me, is just rad. I think it's really cool.
Yep, and Robin Larson and Andreas Backerud and Meek. I'm talking just all
coming in from different places. Like you said, Chris Meek.
You got.
But the sport too, WRC. He's not come the Rallycross route at all. He'd openly admit he's still learning it. But this series attracts NASCAR drivers and rally drivers and the traditional Rallycross drivers, because they all want to come and have a bit of a rip. And that's what we're doing here in Calgary. Yeah, the weather hasn't been our friend, but you know what? We're going to put on a show anyway. Look at this. Ericsson 2 TQs. Can he get another one? I think there's several drivers with 2 TQs, but nobody's got 3 at the minute.
But you talk about weather, and nobody can control that. Fraz touched on it very shortly there, where he just says we're all dealt with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just that kind of the factor that everybody has to deal with, and that's why I really enjoy just the spec class essence of what Group E and NRX Next is as well. So now is when the real work, and what I really like enjoying being in here in the pits. So really cool as we get to see what goes down here when the cars pull back into the pits. There's our Yokohama tires with the 300 studs. But Katie, what's going on? You're just behind us. You're literally right behind us. I can see myself in this shot. That's how close you are. You're right there. That's where you're at.
I'm still hearing you in my ears and my comms, guys. But hey, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that this dirt is obviously really important for the rodeo, but it's making it a little bit of a challenge for these tires, and here's why. Coming out of Trois-Rivières, the team was working to remove this, what is here, dirt and mud. At Trois, it ended up being like straw and hay and sticks. This is making it extremely slick for these cars and these tires out on track, especially in that slush. Now, Coley, I know that you can help better explain why that is so difficult, especially as it relates to these starts, because if there's no grip, it's going to definitely make it challenging for them to get off at the start line.
Yeah, sure. So the studs are designed to dig into ice, into a solid surface. And when they grip into the ice, they rip. And the first couple of laps of free practice this morning, I was here for, the grip was unbelievable. As soon as they break that surface up, then the studs are spinning in a loose surface. Now, if you then fill in the depth of the stud with dirt here, it's basically driving on a slick. So they're trying to get out of the paddock, which is in dirt here, and get out to the track with as many of those studs clean as possible. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sending a member of the team out to try and clean the tyres a bit once they get outside, because when they get outside, they're running on a snow road down to the start.
Yeah, so I would almost rival it to the Top Fuel drag racing. They enter the burnout box, kind of lay their rubber, and then back it into that track. Don't need that, but it would kind of benefit them if they had somebody with a scraper out there in a brush, because when they're coming back, we're seeing it. The pit crews are out there and they're cleaning those tires.
Well, last week, of course, they were cleaning all the ice out, weren't they? Then they'd come in on the wood chippings, and it was the wood chippings.
And this and that,
But they're Larry tyres. You know, these studded tyres, nobody else uses studded tyres that we do, including these guys. NRX Next, they're still on a Yokohama tyre, but it's not the same one that the Group E cars are using. So they're on a more traditional stud. It's actually a wide tyre as well, so this isn't the same level of grip that they would get if they were using the narrow rally tyres that we saw on the rally support categories back in Trois Rivières.
Yeah, we saw those narrower, which kind of just cut in as opposed to kind of, you talk about contact packs.
Exactly.
Elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I would say the size of a pound coin. I'm trying to think what you guys, 25 cents, is it?
Sure,
It's a similar size. A quarter, that's it. Thanks, Jared. And basically the number of studs, if you put them together, that's the contact patch that the car's sitting on. So it's sitting on 4 quarters on a rally tyre. But that means the weight of the car is more effectively targeted on those studs, which digs in a little bit more. Now these cars on wider tyres with shorter studs, not benefiting from that in quite the same way. So they'll move around a little bit more and expecting a good fight.
Jimmy Henderson, Casper Janssen, Eric Gordon, and Lane Vicala. 10 seconds to send it, and we will see these NRX Next vehicles. And Coley, we'll get them, see who gets the jump, see who heads out up on top. But I would love for you to elaborate on these NRX Next vehicles. You know, toned down to horsepower, still capable, weight compared to power, all those kind of things come into play. So here we go. Let's see who gets the jump.
Look at the wheel spin off the start. Jared Casper Janssen with a brilliant start. Michaela's getting up the inside of Henderson. Henderson's actually going backwards. He's going to get swallowed up by Eric Gordon as well. So Casper Janssen, look how early they're on the brakes, and you can see that's way less aggressive than it was for the Group E drivers who can stamp on the brakes and dig those studs in. These guys are not getting the benefit of that. So Casper Janssen with a whole shot. Not so much snow roost as we were seeing either at Trois Rivières, and of course that helps with the studs being a little bit less, and that means you can follow a little bit more closely.
Yeah, I was talking with Andrea, excuse me, it was Meek and Pastrana. We're talking about the roost and that snow spray. This snow is a lot more moist and dense, so it's not flying. Just as I say that, it just goes flying.
Damn it.
Why are you proving me wrong here? No, but anyway, I mean, notably we saw Larson. That just kind of made the highlight reel. You couldn't see anything.
Oh, it was so bright.
For let's count to like 1, 2, and he was flying blind.
And he had it lit. That's the thing, is he had the throttle fully lit, because he knew if he wasn't, when he came out of the roost, the wall on the outside was a bit closer than he thought it was going to be, and he had to back out of it. But that's some seriously brave driving. See if anyone peels off to the Joker this time. Vicala shouldn't go, and does. I wouldn't have gone from there. I would have stayed out, definitely.
4 laps is the most we've seen from the next vehicles as well.
Yes, yeah. So basically, yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone from there, Jared. But he's decided to go early, that's fine. But what he doesn't want to do is release Henderson. You know, Henderson now might get past Eric Gordon at the back as well. So Vicala's gone slightly early for me there. Through the tunnel, nicely done though, gets the rotation. Look at this Joker, really technical along, as you said a minute ago. And you mentioned the cars, Jared. So normally aspirated 2.4 litre Mount Tune engine in the rear of these cars. It's like a mid-rear engine situation. It's a 4-wheel drive. It's got a 6-speed sequential gearbox. I was actually lucky enough to drive one last year at Hollius, a famous track in Sweden, and they are a lot of fun. But you've got to drive them with real accuracy. Janssen's background is in karting, and I think that helps. You know, you've got to keep it tidy. They're momentum cars. They haven't got 1,000 horsepower.
Right. Yeah. You got to talk about momentum. And I was going to bring up, Gordon actually came over here to one of our founders of Nitro Rallycross, and excuse me, that wasn't Gordon, that was Henderson. But Gordon came over here and he says, "Hey, I got to tell you, yeah, the track, it's a little, you know, it's a little sloppy, a little slushy. It's one hell of a good time."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm having so much fun." And he says the attitude of the vehicle, and to your point about, you know, momentum and pointing the car, it's kind of like maybe piloting a boat without a rudder. So it kind of, you got to point it and, you know, set it, and you don't forget it, but you know that the car is going to kind of drift out.
Yeah, the end. You're steering it with, you know, with the RPM, as you say. If you look at the steering, the good guys don't use that much steering angle. Is Janssen going to go this time? I don't think he will. And he doesn't. But interestingly, Henderson did go on the last lap, and we can see at the top of the screen. We didn't see him come out, but he's come out 0.6 of a second in front of Lane Vicala. So Henderson got that done. Vicala, for me, I say I wouldn't have gone on lap 2.
Yeah, just a lot of race left. So Gordon looks like he's going to save it for that last lap as well. All right, Casper Janssen, the white flag is out. Why is Casper just so dominant from last year even into this year as well?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you attribute that to?
He's really impressive last year. Say he won, didn't he, the category last year. I'd say the start of this season wasn't quite what he wanted. A few drivers may be surprised, but he is. You've got to remember, this is only, I think, his 2nd season in what we call lights back in Europe, and NRX Next in Nitro Rallycross, and yeah, so. Okay, maybe it wasn't the perfect season. He's still learning.
Yeah. Yeah, he's and there we go into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. You can see Janssen.
20.3 seconds is the gap, Jared. So this
Whipping into that tunnel.
Yeah, might give us an idea of the delta. Oh, yes, drone under the tunnel. It had to happen. Up. Just look at the braking point there. Can't see where he's going. This is out on the standard lap, but it's Casper Janssen on the inside. Where is he? I don't think any of the 21 seconds we don't think will be enough. They're coming round pretty hot, though, Jared. This could be closer.
Oh, here we go. Coming in out of that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. No challenge for Casper Janssen. Holds on to it. Henderson gets second, and Vakela looks like one more turn and head over to that the checker flag. Vakela and Gordon, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Janssen from start to finish, absolutely dominant. Joker lap playing a major role, I'm saying, just throughout the weekend.
It's technical. It is super technical. Expect people to make mistakes in there that might well cost them the race. But yeah, great drive by Janssen. Got it off the start and held onto it right the way to the line. Last year's NRX Next champion could line up the NRX North America title. We had a European title as well, which was won by Tommy Howman earlier on this year, so that'll give us our 2 title winners.
And then the World Finals.
Yeah, it's back down at Glen Helen. Yeah,
Glen Helen, and they have a singular event at Glen Helen. We have a double header for our Group E, but as we're talking about NRX Next, Casper Janssen, the lone Swede, out front once again. Jimmy Henderson, Lane Vakela, Eric Gordon rounds out the Quattro run here. Let's take a look at it again. Again, Casper Janssen just dominant from the get-go. You can see, talking about that launch, just getting off the line, and you can see some better grip than others.
It was Jimmy Henderson, wasn't it? You just saw he lit it up, Jared, from the second the car went, and then he couldn't get it back. And if you can't get it back, it's just more and more wheel spin, and Janssen just drove around him, basically. So it's Henderson versus Janssen for the title, because George McGuinness isn't here this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled on those two. 2 races for them this weekend. The first of those is today.
The Stampede, the Bull Ring, the horsepower, all these animals. But who's the biggest animal here?
Well, Tommy, clearly. I mean, it goes without saying.
I mean,
he went back for more.
Yeah, he went back for more. Tommy, you're an absolute nut. Send it.
You brought us here, mate. Show us how it's done.
Ah, Street Bike Tommy.
Let's go, boys.
From boats in Sweden to bulls in Canada. This man
Let's go, boy.
do it all.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's get it.
He put some English
Let's
on
get
that.
it, boy. Let's go. Woo, boy. Let's make it go.
I think we're going to leave it here. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Let's go, boys.
Velcro.
Let's go, boys.
Oh my God. Tommy.
Yeah.
Is this your first rodeo?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Pick on it.
Oh, it's a good mount.
What's his name?
Yeah.
29 seconds. All right, you just lost. That was a lot shorter than
Real
29.
bulls don't have kill switches.
You're doing great. All right, Tommy, 29 seconds. Let's see if you can beat it.
Yeah, boy.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, I got this. Oh, you went backwards.
All right, nope, not even 8. Not even 8 seconds.
Come on, Tommy. This is your idea.
Yeah.
Get up.
Your place. Get up.
Get up.
29.
I'm gonna eat this some.
Come on, Tommy.
Yeah.
Bull riding Thomas.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's us make it more interesting. Slow, medium, fast, green horse, cowboy, redneck gangs. Redneck gangs. Hit him with it. Hit him.
And he's gone. He's gone.
Good effort.
Yeah, let's get back to racing, baby.
Good try, mate. We'll see you at the track.
All right, I'm gonna lay here for a day or two.
Shake and go with true shake. Shake and go. Grab a true shake and go. When me have to put in the work, but I'm moving slow. Grab a true shake and go. School time and not joke time. Office study hard, break food time. Grab a true shake and go. When we up in the gym, we have to stay healthy and fit. Grab a true shake and go. Shake and go with true shake. Packed with 9 grams of protein, 24 key vitamins and minerals to keep you going. Grab a true shake and go.
Yeah,
Great place.
Yeah. So let's take a look back at Sweden, which happened earlier this season.
The Nitro Global Tour had its second stop in Strängnäs, Sweden. Here our regular drivers were joined by a distinguished guest, World Rallycross champion Johan Kristoffersson. But despite his pedigree, he would have to fight hard for success. The battle bracket final was an all-Viking affair, pitting Ollie Eriksson and Andreas Backerud against each other.
Everything's in the driver's hands, and we are about to go Nitro, guys.
All right, here we go. Andreas Backerud, Ollie Eriksson. We saw how well Ollie Eriksson got that pass going out to in. Can he execute that on Andreas Backerud?
He's going around the outside.
Oh, he goes around the outside, and we got contact, people. Backerud forces him out of the way, holds on to that lead. Ollie Eriksson, a little bit of damage, but not too much.
Backerud did not give him an edge. He's like, nope, I'm taking this lead.
Backerud moved across the second he took the start. Eriksson just edged him at the actual moment of the start, but he moved out to claim some territory immediately on the run to the first corner. Eriksson did try it anyway. He's like, nah, you're not having it, and then ran him all the way across to the side of the course as well.
Are you looking at his numbers again there too?
I was looking at the other person's numbers. So he's on 8.
Yeah, Ollie.
So Ollie's on 8. Backerud's on 10. Backerud is doing everything with his foot. So you'll notice Backerud can easily get it sideways, where Ollie's kind of using a little bit more of the car to help him with that traction.
So Backerud told me a brilliant story in Hollius earlier this year about how he compared data with Matthias Ekstrom about how much they use the pedals. It was fascinating, the difference between them and a different strategy here.
All right, so Andreas Backerud out front, but you saw Ollie Eriksson take that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. All purple for Backerud, green for Ollie, so obviously, you know, just getting better, and it looks like Andreas is still dancing inside the car. I'm joking, he's obviously steering the wheel, feeding the wheel, but still partying out front, Andreas Backerud.
So, well, Backerud he's driving very, very tight. He's going to make Oliver take the race from him. So this is really interesting because Ollie is not going to leave anything on the table. There's a chance that Ollie could make this distance right back up, but as you see, not making the mistakes through that paved section is really helping Andreas, and I'm amazed that he's up to 10. He's got all like 1,000 horsepower at his toe tips, if you will.
He's gone purple again, Jared. It was 2.9, it's now 3.1. So Andreas Backerud edging the gap a little on Eriksson as he comes in super tight on the tyres onto the start-finish straight. What is it as they go across the line? Does the gap come down? 2.4. Eriksson's taken a massive chunk out of him on that last sector. He's taken 7/10 of a second out of Backerud. Did you see where that was? Is that a mistake or just pure brilliance from Eriksson?
No, Eriksson's got his power down, so when he comes out on that dirt, he's able to feed it a little bit easier getting down that straightaway. But now when we hit the pavement section, like coming out of this corner, having more power, Backerud's going to be able to accelerate a little bit harder up that hill, where you're going to see this car's a little more lethargic. So there's different sections of the track that do different with that. So thanks for inviting me. I've learned so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome anytime.
But ideally, you want to be down on the track. So you don't always, look at he lost it right back. So to your point, you know, that navigation. Now, so final lap here, 2.9 seconds. And there goes Andreas Backerud for that Joker lap. All right, so Andreas Backerud.
Here we go.
Ollie Eriksson, could he get him? And he does. Ollie Eriksson with that 2.9. Great execution. Interesting philosophy. You talked about that 8 as opposed to the 10. What works out perfect? What is just... And it, obviously, Ollie delivered.
In Heat 1, Meek's thirst for victory was evident from the start, but it was a composed Backerud who stole the win after Larsson's early exit. The story of Heat 2 was the duel between Kristoffersson and Ollie Eriksson. Despite getting the checkered flag, Johan was penalised for hitting a track marker, allowing the top qualifier to progress to the final. Semi-final 1 was a nightmare for the Americans as both Martel and Pastrana damaged their cars. Spurred on by his disappointing heat performance, Larsson put on a dominating display to get the win, followed by Fraser McConnell in P2. In semi-final 2, the leader Kristoffersson got a puncture, gifting an easy win to Meek. The round 2 last chance qualifier had a lineup worthy of any final. Kristoffersson established his dominance early on and never looked back. P2 was snatched by Martel, who beat his mentor Pastrana by just a few inches. It's a hell of a lineup, isn't it, for a final here in Sweden? Eriksson inside Backerud. That was the lineup for the last battle. It went the way of Eriksson. Wheels spin off the line. Backerud's got the best start. Going to try and get in front of Eriksson. Meek moves across contact with Larsson. Larsson on the inside line. All the way around the outside. Kristoffersson gets up into P3. Maybe pushing for P2. Goes outside with Backerud. Unbelievable start from the 4-time world champion. Going to try and stop to the inside line, but we ride on board with Larsson, who's already in there. Backerud runs wide. Eriksson gets up the inside, but Backerud holds on from Eriksson and Larsson.
absolutely unreal. I don't know if you watched again, Johan Kristoffersson. He was all the way on the outside, dove in, and now he currently sits there in fourth, which is a great operation. Andreas Backerud leads. Oliver Eriksson did get a nose job there, but Backerud has the clean air. Can he take it to the top?
What an incredible start from Johan Kristoffersson. Travis, from the back of the grid, you were watching it.
He just jumped onto that inside. If he would have been somehow managed to get the inside on the second turn, oh man, that is...
Eriksson ran wide. Oliver Eriksson ran wide. He's got a problem because Kristoffersson's gone through, so Eriksson's dropped back. He's gone way back. Oliver Eriksson's out. The TQ man is gone. He was on the pole and he's gone. So at the minute it's Backerud leading from Larson.
Look at this.
Exact opposite of Linden Hill. They're the team to beat at the minute.
Yep, the Dreyer Reinbold JC vehicles are currently 1 and 2 with, again, the newcomer, Johan Kristoffersson, 4-time champion. It bears repeating. He's currently sitting in third. But hey, guess what? There's a lot of racing. We got 6 laps, 8 cars. Fraser McConnell sitting in fourth, and he just got over getting that second place in Supercars.
Meek's gone joke. Eriksson went on the first lap along with Vaby, but I think they're a little bit too far out the back and I know Vaby's still there. I think Chris Meek's had a problem, Jared. He's dropped off the back of the pack.
Larson just jumped about 150 feet off the back. You should hear the crowd going absolutely nuts. Eriksson, man, he's had some rough luck, man. He's been so good all weekend.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
A nose job there, but Backerud has the clean air. Can he take it to the top?
What an incredible start from Johan Kristoffersson. Travis, from the back of the grid, you were watching it.
He just jumped onto that inside. If he would have been somehow managed to get the inside on the second turn, oh man, that is...
Eriksson ran wide. Oliver Eriksson ran wide. He's got a problem because Kristoffersson's gone through, so Eriksson's dropped back. He's gone way back. Oliver Eriksson's out. The TQ man is gone. He was on the pole and he's gone. So at the minute it's Backerud leading from Larson.
Look at this.
Exact opposite of Linden Hill. They're the team to beat at the minute.
Yep, the Dreyer Reinbold JC vehicles are currently 1 and 2 with, again, the newcomer, Johan Kristoffersson, 4-time champion. It bears repeating. He's currently sitting in third. But hey, guess what? There's a lot of racing. We got 6 laps, 8 cars. Fraser McConnell sitting in fourth, and he just got over getting that second place in Supercars.
Meek's gone joke. Eriksson went on the first lap along with Vaby, but I think they're a little bit too far out the back and I know Vaby's still there. I think Chris Meek's had a problem, Jared. He's dropped off the back of the pack.
Larson just jumped about 150 feet off the back. You should hear the crowd going absolutely nuts. Eriksson, man, he's had some rough luck, man. He's been so good all weekend.
Absolutely gutted. Look at Backerud, setting some blazing times, 51.7.
McConnell just hit the tyres on the inside, Jared, in the background. He won't get a penalty for that, but it's not the quick way. It's Kristoffersson they've all got to watch out for. McConnell's going with him. There's less than 2 seconds between the top 4, and we know the Joker Delta is about 3.5, so Backerud from Larson only on lap 3.
Yeah, Travis, you were talking about it. Larson absolutely aired it out. Look at this. We got, hey guys, your teammates, right? You might want to lay low a little bit.
They're not laying low. They got the world champion behind them. They do not want... see, you're up front, you're backwards. You want to block the inside, but you also want to make sure you keep this lead. And you got Fraz McConnell. It's put him everything he has to Kristoffersson.
It's tough for Robin because he obviously feels like he's faster than Backerud, but he can't get through. He's made a little mistake and dropped a tiny way back. He wants to get out front. Anyone other than his teammate, Jared, it's the exact opposite of Linden Hill where Backerud couldn't fire Larson off. Larson's going to get a better
He's going to come to the inside right here.
And into the joke that goes McConnell in the background. So McConnell's gone from P4. Is he going to come out in 4?
Is that the right approach, do you think? Fraz going in?
I think so.
Yes,
maybe covering off
he's got a clear track. These guys are battling. Honestly, if I was Larson, I probably would have gone for it there. You don't know if you're going to be stuck behind someone, but right now, Backerud is holding Larson up, and that is giving Kristoffersson a chance to come up there, especially now not having to hold off Fraz.
I'm with you. I can't believe he didn't go, Jared, because he's nudging Backerud a bit. Anybody else, you could give him a little bit more, let him know you're there. He's let him know he's there, but now he's at the point where he really needs to get through, not be held up. They've now got to watch the lap times of McConnell, because Fraz is well capable of closing them down.
Yeah, Johan Kristofferson, he's drooling, he's seething a little bit. And also, he cut the corner there a little bit.
No, it's all right. That was
okay.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Oh, look at this. You're seeing Larson. Look, he goes out to in.
From the front,
again.
different lines to there. Now
there we go.
Larson wide on the Joker, gets outside of the main groove.
As does Johan.
But you know what? He had a really, really good...
Watch the merge here with Fraser McConnell in the background. Is McConnell going to get Kristofferson? Kristofferson holds on, but McConnell coming around the outside.
Oh, buddy.
The champion's in his
Holy cow.
Gets on the handbrake. McConnell's in the rooster, just makes it back through.
Kristofferson did textbook.
Yeah.
He's like, it's slippery out there. I'm going to make you go to the outside.
So predictors up 2.9 at the minute. They're reckoning that Andreas Backrud will hold. Where's Larson gone? Larson jokered. Yes, he has. Sorry, my bad. Larson's jokered.
Yeah, Larson was super quick.
Yeah, but he did not have the best entry to the Joker. He had a great exit to the Joker.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
We were watching the merge, weren't we, between Kristofferson and McConnell in the background. So the gap is 4.1.
So he's got to take this. Here we go.
He's going.
Yep.
Hey, Coley, I'm just going to say, you called it. Brand new paint on his helmet, brand new helmet. Could the helmet bring him some luck? Here we go. Andreas Backrud out of that Yokohama Tire Joker. No problem for him. And obviously the Yokohama Tire Joker predictor says, nah, look at this. It's 1 and 2 with those DRR vehicles, the JC.
Look at the gap they've managed to make over the competitors behind. There was a little bit of a train going on, but they've got a lovely big cushion now. And Backrud got that lap crucially right when he needed to in Larson's day. Larson's got half a lap.
Great racing there. Again, final lap, half lap. They're moving through it. Keep it clean, boys. Stay off each other. Don't do anything stupid.
When you try to go faster, you end up going slower on this track. He tried to make a move and just lost all that time.
Absolutely.
Andreas Backrud coming through the right-hander. He had to follow his teammate home at Lydden Hill. Robin Larson was the winner there, and there was nothing the Norwegian could do about it. This time, the result is going to be the other way around. Backrud flicks the car around to the left. The European Rallycross champion is going to take first victory in Nitro Rallycross as he comes down to the line. His teammate Larson is right behind. Look at the train for third.
And there you go. It looks like Johan Kristofferson on his debut gets third place. Great job by Andreas Backrud. The helmet has brought him some good luck. The dance and the vibe and the feel-good vibe. His new tattoo from Lydden Hill. He gets the win.
The number 23 of Kevin Eriksson had a pretty stellar weekend in Trois Rivières. The question that I was wondering about is, does that stellar weekend, getting second there, kind of carry some momentum into the weekend here in Calgary?
For sure it does. It was a great weekend for the team. A 1-2. Oliver got his first win, which was, just as great as me getting a P2. So yes, hopefully, we can start the weekend on a good foot.
And as it relates to kind of the last week in between, 2 weeks in between, what was that like for you? Was there a recovery and rest, or was it full throttle?
I was full throttle, straight back to Sweden. We built together 2 FC1 more, went straight up to Northern Sweden, Race of Champions, had that event. Back home, fly directly here, so it's been an intense couple of weeks. The jet lag has got to me now, so I was just having a quick nap.
We did wake you up from a nap for this one. And as it relates to racing Oliver, you're going up against him in the quarter battle brackets here. What does he bring as a competitor?
I mean, he's my brother, so it's tricky. I want him to do, the best of him, and he's still in the championship hunt. So, and I'm not. I missed 3 races in the beginning of the season. So, of course, I want him to do well, but at the same time, we want to beat each other. We are, the brotherly, fight, makes you faster. So, it will be interesting. He got the best of me last time out at Trois Rivières, so maybe I need to up my game now, hopefully.
A little redemption, maybe. And Jen, as we come around here, let me take you over to Ollie Eriksson's car. And as we kind of show what that is, I talked to Ollie about what he thought about racing against his brother Kevin. He said, well, it's going to be tough. We won't do anything stupid. But the odd thing about Kevin is that he's always in control, which can be pretty scary and nerve-wracking, especially when it comes down to a track that most of us feel like we're completely out of control. Ollie Eriksson and Kevin Eriksson are going to be going up against each other here in the quarterfinals, man. A little brother against brother. It's got to be fun.
So we've got couple of guests with us here in the, I was going to say commentary box, but it's not really a box. It's
commentary pit.
The whole thing, and we've got such a great view.
Yep.
So this is Patrick O'Donovan, who, if you watched earlier on in the year, he competed in the internal combustion class of Nitro at both Lydden Hill and Strangnass. That didn't go too well, but he did win the British Rallycross Championship last year, and he's the youngest ever British Rallycross champion at 18 years old, which is pretty rad, isn't it?
No big deal.
No, yes, that's easy. And this is Ollie Bennett. Ollie.
It's been a tough day. I didn't have any XI. It all froze in the container.
Man.
Cognition is low, and I done a joker on a lap. You shouldn't do a joker this morning.
Did you? We didn't notice.
No.
When you spun around and came back out, did you think maybe that nobody would notice?
Well, I was like, I actually ripped the one straight back out. I was like, I've got this. Nobody saw, but I think they did. So
we did.
Yeah, we did. He's like, I was like, I mean, let's just change the rules for Ollie. Like, just come on. Like,
we debated. Should I have just carried on the joker?
Well, the thing was, first of all, I said you were probably going to get DQ because you weren't allowed to joker on the first lap. Then when you came back out, Gareth was like, he came back out, and I went, yeah, but then he's gone wrong direction on the racetrack.
Exactly. So you got double DQ'd, so actually just go home.
Yeah.
I'm joking. No, don't go.
I actually am going home today.
No.
Oh, no. Till tomorrow.
Yeah. All joking aside, that joker is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that joker,
it's
like 18 plus seconds on the Delta.
Yeah, it's a long time. And for this event, we can't do it on the first lap. So it's just natural rallycross instinct. He was in front of me as I'm going joker, but forgot you can't do it this weekend. So
Patrick, you want to get involved in rallycross, right?
Yeah.
You want to race a groupie or what?
Well, you know, if I can get the chance to race one, I definitely will. I mean, the cars look insane and the tracks look even more insane.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything about the entire series just looks absolutely mega.
Well, when you got to do Lydden Hill, didn't you? Strangnass, I know you did like 2 laps. That was a bit of a bummer. But Lydden, you know, first time there with the big jump. We've been talking about the history at Lydden today with 56 years old for the sport. But this is where the future's at. Look, Pat, look at this jump. Look at this. This is what you want to get in. Look at the grin on Pat's face. He can't hide it. Patrick O'Donovan wants to get into a Group E, I'm sure. But you've also driven. What did you do? Lights at all? RX2E?
RX2E, yeah.
So you've got some electric experience.
Got some electric experience. I've got an 18-year-old back, which is better than Ollie already.
Oh, wow. Shots fired.
It's one of those days we're going to go with it, I think.
But no, I mean, I'd love the chance to get into one. They just look insane. I've heard every driver coming at them just says that once you put your foot down, the speed just doesn't stop coming. It just keeps getting faster.
Look at this. Martel on board. Grip level looks high, Ollie Bennett. Like, what are you saying?
The grip's actually gone up this afternoon. They've done a great job sweeping the track. It's getting colder. I think we're going to have quite a nice track for a few races this evening.
Okay, perfect. Good stuff. So up into turn 1, Conor Martel. Look at that. So early on the handbrake. Gets the rotation done. On the throttle then to pull it out the wall. Flick to the right. Now we'll carry that back up. Great stuff.
And we took a look at Martel, but Chris Meek, your man, he's super fast. Don't go anywhere. Speaking of fast, we'll be right back. Very fast, just like that, but don't go anywhere. And here we are with the quarterfinals. The sun is setting, and we have a couple special guests here, some drivers of different backgrounds and just some different insight and perspective. So it's great to get their insight here. And with the temperature and the sun dropping, that's going to equate to, as we were just saying, Ollie here was saying about grip levels.
Yeah, changing conditions again, Jared. We were out filming on track this time last night, and if you remember, it'd been 10 degrees Celsius again. Sorry, Fahrenheit fans. Very cold. Actually, very warm during the day. And then as the sun goes down and it gets dark, it just gets colder, and the track starts to freeze up. So yeah, I mean, Ollie, what's your thoughts? You'd know better than us. As the temperature drops and it freezes, what do you think the grip will do?
I think it's going to get grippier. For me, I was braking too early in the last session, so the braking is coming in, the corner now, the corner speeds are getting higher. I think it's going to turn into some good little racing this evening.
Well, Meek was almost 1.5 seconds faster than anybody else in the field, yourself included. How is that perfect storm kind of coming together for him more than anybody else?
Do you know, I'm not sure how he put that together, and we found probably another half a second he missed from missing a gear. So yeah, he is on fire. I think these really tight ice, he's got thousands of Ks on ice. I think he can just kill it.
Yeah. So Pat, looks like Katie's got a question for us. Katie, I mean, again, the sun's dropping, but earlier it looked like it was such a nice day. You might have had a pineapple and a drink in your hand. It was so nice out there.
I was sure hoping for a pineapple pina colada. Thank you, Jared, for that. As you can see, the guys had just left. That was Robin Larson and Fraser McConnell. Now, what's interesting is I was talking to Fraser about Robin, and he was like, man, that guy is consistent. And you can see that in the points. But my question for you in the booth is, Fraser had said his goal is obviously his reaction time. He's leaning into it. He thinks that's his actual little secret weapon here. And how critical is that reaction time with a start like this? But the question is the grip issue. Does reaction time even matter?
I think reaction always matters, doesn't it? But the settings on the dash, Ollie, there's a lot to look at, isn't there?
We've got a lot to play with. We've got torque, we've got different settings for how much RPM we use. And what you'll notice with Chris here, you can actually get on the throttle too early. So we're learning to be more patient, and that's something Chris is going to be working on here.
So Fraser McConnell will be up in a short while against Larson, and we'll watch for that reaction time and see if he guns it as he says he will.
I wonder if this is going to play a role. Connor Martell is the most recent racer, you know, and he was the only battle, right? So he doesn't have a full charge. I would like to see the charge, what it looks like on his dash, because here he is, most recent racer. Now he goes back at, and he's going against the fastest racer in that Excite Focus Energy, My Energy vehicle of Meek.
He's got, the other thing about Martell, of course, is he's been on the track recently, but I think having had like a 40-odd minute break, the big temperature drop, Jared, the conditions will have changed. He's clapping his hands, getting ready. Chris Meek, though, rally driver, they're so good. We saw this with Petter Solberg in Rallycross for years. They go out and they judge the grip level immediately. There is no let me feel my way in. They just know. They don't know. They feel it in a different way, but they commit so much. Martell's got rally background as well, so he'll have some of that, but got to get this start done.
Ollie, so who are you pulling for?
I think, yeah, on time, Chris, I think if he can nail this lap, he's going to be very, very quick. But Martell had a good start in my session last time, so you never know. Fingers crossed.
All right, here we go. Here are the stats you're taking a look at. A little bit of age difference there, but guess what? Look at the stats. 5-time World Rally Championship wins. Man, talking about, again, youth. I mean, seeing Meek out here, it's pretty sweet. You being kind of this up-and-coming racer. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, Meek's always been like a childhood hero. He's been on the TV whenever I've been flicking on to any WRC, and to be able to spend a bit of time with him this weekend and see him racing, it's truly pretty cool to see your childhood heroes all in one place.
That's very cool, man. That's really special. All right, so here we go. We're about to see Connor Martell, Chris Meek. Connor Martell in the Vermont Sports car. His teammate Travis Pastrana, Chris Meek, Ollie Bennett join us here. Maybe give us some insight. Let's look at that. You talked about that rolling start. Kind of don't just hammer down, don't spin the wheels, but look at that. Connor Martell on the outside, and we saw that at Trois Rivières. That outside lane wasn't as grinded up. So here we go. Nice through the chicane.
No, not so much Roos, so he's able to follow much more closely. Now, Meek will want to be as close as he can to the back of Martell. Now, if Martell doesn't joker, which would be a pretty clever dummy on Chris will go in, and that's when we need to watch Chris Meek, is how committed he is in the joker, and also, Jared, how accurate he is. He's just lost one of the Insta360 cameras off the roof, so that's a goner. There's a bit more roost up in turn 1. Look at the difference in angles on the way in there. Martell was out wide and tight. Chris Meek backed it in a little bit more, coming now onto the straight. Ollie, do you get nervous when you watch your teammate out there?
I do. I mean, yeah, Chris is racing is something he's learning. So he's not raced all his life. When he's by himself, he's the fastest man out there. But let's see now, he's by himself. This could be it.
Great rotation there, entering that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. You saw him quickly get in there. Now, how is he going to execute here?
It's really tight through here, so you've got to come on the power through here, and you'll get a little crest and the car goes light. You'll see him flick around here. It's a lovely part of the track, but now he's fighting the clock.
Oh, he's in too early. Clipped the bank a bit early, had to turn out of it. It was 9/10 on the win. I think he actually would have wanted to be nearer to Connor, but hard to tell on that back straight how early he had to check up, bearing in mind he's doing a 90 right and Connor's just heading through the little chicane, so oof.
Yeah, it looks very close. Connor, I think he's really pushing hard here now. He knows he's got a chance. His spotters would have told him Chris made a little mistake there, so yeah, Connor's probably giving it everything now and trying to come out the hero, but let's see.
14.5, Jared, that's what it is, but we know it's not 18 now, don't we, because of those chicanes out on the main track.
Pat, taking a look at this, what excites you about Group E and the FC1X? Again, 1,000 horsepower on deck, ready to go. Taking a look at this course.
I think surprisingly, just to see, especially on the snow, just how much grip they've got out there. Like, they seem to be able to chuck it in as soon as they got their foot down.
Hey, look at this. The finish line. Is Meek going to come past? Jumps it. Is he taking it? It's showing him as first, Jared.
And look at that. Yeah, again, just exactly. Look, it looks like Chris Meek does get him as Connor Martell came out of the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. And talking about just the excitement there, it came down to it. That was a photo finish. And you got to keep in mind where the actual transponders are marked, because it's normally not just exactly at the gantry.
Yeah, it's where we need to find out exactly where the loop is in the road. But to me as well, Martell looked like he checked up ahead of the jump, and we know Chris in his time lap earlier on barely checked up at all. He was fully locked up the face of the jump.
Yeah, I had my spotters coming on. Yeah, I had my spotters coming on saying he's going to land on me, so I had to keep my foot down when he flew over that finish. So it looks like he's just scraped through there, which is great because he was quick, but yeah, tricky race for Chris.
Well, he's done it by 0.031 of a second, so 300ths of a second. So close, Jared.
And we are finding out that it is directly underneath the gantry, because in previous races it was going to either be on or in front, but here at this particular venue it's right underneath the gantry. So look at that. Chris Meek literally squeaks it out on top of Connor Martell.
You're on board with him now as he comes back in, and he'll come in. Our commentary area, our announcing area is right at the far end. He's rolling into the back of the paddock now, and you can see one of the Ericssons heading on out. Might even see Chris. Oh, he's heading over to the scales. So Chris is going up. So this is where they come in and they do tech checks on the cars. So they'll just check that everything's how they want it, get it straight look, and bring it up.
What a great, tight, close race from start to finish. I think that just is a good kind of sign of the times, what we're going to potentially see tomorrow with 4 and 5 cars on track at the same time. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad that Chris got through. Do you know, I think this could be good for him. It's got him back into racing. As we know, racing isn't his most of experience, but he's super fast single line. So hopefully this has warmed him up. He knows he's got to fight now.
This is the finish line. Look at me coming around the outside. He's got so much more speed than Martell. Martell almost, he does. Martell, oh my goodness me, that was close. Wow.
I don't know how the stewards would have decided that if they did come together. We're meant to not go onto that outside line, so it was a little bit touchy there, but yeah, fair play not to end up in a bit of a pile.
That was close, wasn't it? Like, that was really... I want to see the front left corner of Chris's car, see if it's still got all the decals on it. That was so close. Martell as well, Jared, he judged that run off the end of the barrier super well.
Yeah, he did a good job, but these guys are absolutely, you know, Fraser said it earlier, full send, but I'll tell you, Martell and Meek, I mean, Meek losing that instant 360 camera off the jump, he cleared that a little too much. Relax, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just take it down.
It's all good. It's not Rally Finland.
Yeah, there's no measurement flags in this one.
And Ollie, you talked about it earlier. You say racing, and just to clarify that, he's normally not going wheel to wheel. He's racing by himself. He's racing against, as he said, the clock, as opposed to wheel to wheel and other competitors.
Yeah, and I think probably not getting the start there against Martell would have got in his head a little bit. That's what he struggles more with, how to deal with those sorts of situations. So yeah, it's a good start to his weekend. It's a good learning curve.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll wait, stick around, don't go anywhere. Hold on. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll let you guys head out, go focus. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Ollie, thank you. Peace. All right, here we go with our next Group E battle, and you're seeing Robin Larson, our current points leader, going against Fraser McConnell, current championship position 3rd. So look at this, 1st and 3rd out of the gate. Just you know, again, this is the Stampede. This is an absolute competition here, not equating and contributing to the overall championship points, but just getting on ice, getting more racecraft.
Yeah, you know, I say just good for the crowd. We've got such a huge crowd here. We didn't want any track conditions to have an impact on the championship, but the drivers also didn't want to not put on a show, and they're going to put one on now.
Here we go, Fraser McConnell, Robin Larson, that points leader. Look at this, low, here we go, going over the jump. Is anybody, obviously through that start chicane, you could see, nice job by Fraser McConnell and Robin Larson.
I reckon they both use boost off the line there, Jared. They're in the same team. You wonder if they've got the same settings dialed in. They were side by side, but you can't get through the chicane side by side, so one had to yield, and it was Larson who yielded.
Yeah, and when you mention the same team, the DRR-JC, obviously, you know, some kind of conflicting sponsors there, or competitive sponsors, let's just call it that, but DRR, Dreyer Reinbold Racing, and the DRR-JC team, so yeah.
RX Cartel for Robin Larson, championship leader, with his teammate Andreas Backrud to come up next. Fraser McConnell, remember, was the top qualifier last time out on snow and ice. Jamaican would love to get a result here. Calgary 1988, cool running, kiss the egg. You know, that it would be an amazing story. Larson going to go joker, so watch for this now. Championship leader's been so tidy and consistent this year.
Good job by Robin Larson. Look at, you know, you see that untouched area, the untainted ice, and it literally is just that in the ice. Look at Robin Larson coming, and I like what you say, keeping the car light. And there's those big metal poles right there at the end. Those are just scaring the heck out of me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, right at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, it's the Larson's rotation there. Meek turned in a bit early and had to get out of it. Larson not. McConnell, though, is on a big old push. That's up at turn 2 after the jump. Coming out now onto the back straight. So McConnell's going to respond immediately. He has to. Going to go joker. 14.6, Jared. It was a very similar margin in the last one, so this could be really close.
Could be another tight one that we just saw from Meek and Martell. There he goes into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Fraser McConnell kissing the egg as he's talking about feel the rhythm, feel the ride. Come on now, it's Rallycross time. Throwing some sparks.
Yeah, sparks off the studs as they go through the ice and onto the tarmac beneath. Robin Larson coming through the long sweep and now at the far end of the track. Watch for Fraser McConnell on the inside line. Larson's got a couple of chicanes to go.
Look at this. Here goes Robin Larson through that start chicane, and then Fraser McConnell. Oh, look at it. It's all Fraz. Fraser McConnell in dominant fashion comes out on top, throws some sparks, throws some air, and throws some A-Shock energy in his veins. Well done there from Fraser McConnell, taking out our current points leader. Sitting third in points is Fraz. But again, this being the Stampede does not have bearing on the overall championship. What a great race. Good racecraft from there from Fraser McConnell. As you said, Trois Rivières, #1. He got that TQ.
Yeah, he wants to do it, doesn't he? He wants to do it on race day rather than top qualifier is great, but he'll want to do it tomorrow. Bit of team radio from Fraz. He's waving at the crowd as well. The return.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Well, there. We agree. There we go. Great. Yes, so the Spanish guys from QEV who help run the cars. They're there. So full multilingual, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. No, that was some great racing. Congratulations. Riding shotgun to Fraser McConnell. Let's take a look at it from the start. You said so. You're claiming they're pushed to pass right out of the gate? It seems like that.
Look at them. They're both absolutely. I didn't see where they went into the merge, but they were side by side. Jared Martel got Ollie Bennett off the line, didn't he? And I say a lot of the drivers are saying to me that's where they're using that push to pass. And we are working on it, by the way, so that you'll be able to see in future where they're using it, because we want to see that too. Yeah. You know, who's got a bit left and who hasn't.
Like we throw a big red light special or something.
That'll do. Yeah,
they're using it.
Cop lights on the roof. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe confetti cannon or something.
I mean, anything.
Gel blaster guns.
Yeah, that'll do.
All right,
yeah,
well, congratulations. Fraser McConnell moves on with an action-packed crowd here. All right, Katie, what's going on? You're right behind us, but you got a special guest.
Yeah, you know, Chris, when we first were talking about him, he was saying these kids were catching up, and that was one time when that kid really caught up to you. How close was it for you? Because to all of us, it was pretty mega.
Yeah, obviously the finish was spectacular, even from inside. I had no idea. I got a start okay, but he got the jump on me. I followed him really close for one lap. I said, okay, I have the pace. But then in the Joker, the grip changes because we haven't driven on that so much and you have a lot better ice. So I got a bit crossed up in the Joker. I knew it wasn't perfect. I came out and my spotter was saying, just go for it, all the boost, everything you have. And I came out and I seen all the snow dust and I thought I was just going to ram him in the back. And I arrived over the jump mid-air, landed in one wheel, and to get the win by 300ths, less than 300ths of a second. That's I did tell you these kids would catch up quick, but I didn't expect it to be that close. Okay, pretty cool.
Thank you for your time. Well done to that, guys. That was really close. A whole lot of fun for all of us to watch.
Robin, what happened?
Don't sugarcoat it, Jared.
Yeah, just go for it.
I'm waiting for the beer here. So
okay,
the beer's up there. We'll get you
we're going now.
Will you'll hang around if we get you a beer?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Deal.
I'm done for today.
Yeah, and unfortunately, but you know, you're leading the points. This doesn't have bearing on the overall championship. Your sights are got to be set on Glen Helen. Doubleheader ends in California. I know you love the States. You love California.
For sure.
Yeah, and you're looking to party and have the biggest trophy of them all, right?
Yeah, it's looking really good now when we had this unfortunate warm weather here. It's really shame.
You've been here a week or so. Just a quick shout out to Calgary because they've looked after you and Conor Martel. You had a great time, haven't you?
It's been so good and so freaking cold.
Yeah, you did say. He messaged me about the dog sled run. He goes, "Oh, it was amazing, but I nearly died."
I nearly died.
So cold.
I've never been so close.
And you're from Sweden, dude.
Yeah, but we don't have that cold.
Okay.
We have rain and darkness 24/7 on the winter, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was special going into Fraz in the I did a good start, but I used to push the pass.
Did he as well?
Because but he never let it off.
Good call. Good call.
I was like, you should let off now, Fraz, but he didn't. So I was like,
he said to the moon, and that's you guys both boosted and super far.
I was so sure if I'm gonna crash one race, it's this race when it's nothing on points or anything. So I was like, no, I'm not going into there.
All right,
side by side with friends.
Don't push the pass right now. We gotta pay some bills. Thank you so much, Robin. Don't go anywhere. A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Yokohama Tire, make every drive a performance. Insta360, the world's best-selling 360 action cameras.
Rob, Robin, we're talking about push to pass, and obviously it's difficult at home and for us because we don't see when you guys are using it. If you didn't use it off the start, is there somewhere else on the lap here where you could use it later? Like why, if, for instance, Ollie Bennett got beaten at the start by Connor, and we were pretty sure Connor was full boost. So why is there somewhere else? Could you save it and use it to your advantage later?
It's hard. Like you can use it out of the last chicane before the jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard. Like Fres got a big advantage just to take the start now, so it's better to use it to take the start. So, but yeah, then we got 5 different settings: more power, less seconds.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what's the most
I don't know
seconds?
what Fres had if he emptied the tank in the start.
Right. What's the most amount of seconds you can have? Isn't it 10? I think.
Yeah.
And then the least
but it's pretty
amount.
weak.
Right, so you don't get such a boost or less seconds and then more boost, you see. So we're learning too, but it's so much to learn because these cars are so new. It's like
for me too. I know
but
nothing.
But it is. But like,
obviously, I took the wrong
you know
one.
something. You're leading. Did I see your dashboard? You took down all kind of the diagnostics.
Yeah. Nice.
He hit his diagnostics.
Let's see C1X logo.
Yeah, he just put first corner up there.
Just get the screensaver on. Don't let him know what I'm on.
Exactly. This guy, he's a little shit.
Do you remember we had Trav, didn't we, in Sweden up in the commentary? She's going,
he was.
I could seal the seconds on the dash.
He's what you call bird dogging. He was trying to look at. All right, so there's Fraz. He advances on. He'll be moving on to semifinals. But overall, the racing, even as slushy as it is, it's still exciting racing.
A lot more better now when the sun goes down and it's getting really cold. But yeah, it's a shame that we got so good weather now.
Yeah, I know you've never wanted to be so cold. You're like, I was dying. Can it get cold again?
Yeah, super cold.
So now it's
really. It was fantastic weather to get the track set up. It's a bit warmer, but we're still trying hard to make sure everyone has a good time. So good to see the drivers out there.
An empty pit here with Andreas Backerud going up against Travis Pastrana here in just the next battle bracket. Now, in talking with Andreas, he said that he's really happy with the car overall. He said it's still staying on 4 wheels, which Andreas Backerud is one of those guys who really appreciates all 4 wheels on the ground. He was comparing this kind of experience to a little bit of a challenging driving style. He said sometimes with this car, you seem to go right and then you go left. But as it relates to going against Travis, he said, keep in mind, Travis is probably going to take the outside line as that seems to be a bit quicker. One thing to note, guys, keep an eye on what happens at that Joker. If you're running in second, you gotta be on the bumper or it's not gonna work.
You want to hit?
All right, so here we go. We got 30 seconds. Ollie. Okay, so this is a brotherly love battle here. We got Ollie Eriksson and Kevin Eriksson. We had some great words from Kevin about Ollie and his brother. You can see championship position. Ollie does have a contention overall, but it's going to be decided in Glen Helen with a double header. Again, just a culmination of a 22-23 season. Let's see which Eriksson comes out on top. Ollie Eriksson proved to be the best at Trois Rivières just a few weeks ago.
Kevin was right behind him, wasn't it? It was an Eriksson 1-2. Ollie Eriksson's had a couple of top qualifiers this year already. Another even start. They're both surely using push to pass there again, but inside line. Oh, now down the back straight, tucking him behind. That's Robin Larson making that noise.
Robin and... Yeah, it looks like Chris Meek joining us here, and Robin got a little shaky there, a little nervous for Kevin, but you could see, and we were talking to Ollie Bennett. He explained that his braking style, it's changed throughout the day. Meek, what do you think?
Yeah, as you see all this snow mixed with ice outside they've created the circuit, and you get this loamy stuff coming up, so it's so difficult to judge your braking. It changes as the tracks develop, so you're sort of exploring a new track basically every time you go out.
How was that merge, Chris?
Yeah, pretty straightforward to be honest. No, it was not. From my point of view, it was flat out ahead. So.
Well, Martel, I mean, he Coley gave him some great compliments. He says he timed it almost perfectly, but you happen to just be there, and I mean, he almost got you.
Yeah, he near less than 300, so it was close, but okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So Ollie Eriksson in the Joker lap now. This needs to be mint. Now, Chris, we felt you maybe had turned in a little bit too early over that crest.
Yeah, I made a mistake. The ice is fresher in the Joker because we haven't used it as much. Of course. So there's a load more grip, but I sort of caught me out a little bit and I crossed up on the steering wheel like an amateur, but I managed to save it. But I did drop a bit of time there.
You'll get there.
Love this. Shots fired.
That's great.
Also, we took notice. Oh, look at that, going to the Joker lap there.
Kevin's in now, so he's responding to his brother Ollie. Kevin Eriksson drops in. You see the brake lights come on now into the dark and drops down.
I was just going to say earlier, you can see sparks. So there's some concrete that is exposed right there, the tarmac. So sparks, the spikes are hitting that, creating some sparks.
Also look on the braking, it's so hard to get it stopped. So everything you look at is that hay ball.
Yeah. Here we go, coming out through the merge. Kevin, though, on the inside line.
Easy for Kevin. So Kevin, the older brother, beats down on his younger brother and takes him out. So Kevin Eriksson comes out on top. That's great for him.
2.6, that's a bigger margin than I thought. Was that in the Joker lap, lads? You were watching. What did you think?
Yeah, it seemed the gap, they were quite close when Ollie peeled into the Joker first of all, but then, he seemed to take everything in the Joker, I think. It's not a well, for me, I haven't much experience in rallycross, but to have a Joker lap with a 16, 17 second delta is huge.
Yeah, it's a long one, mate. So you need a co-driver in there to remember all those corners, don't you? It was a bit much for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got a practice this morning. We were only allowed to go in there once, so we'd done the first race, only having ever been in there once, so it was like a rally blind.
Yeah, how are you racing? How do you remember all that stuff? Normally you have somebody telling you what to do.
Yeah, I do, but it's nice to have some peace in the car too.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at that start. What do you think? Push to pass? These guys are both getting after it right out of the gate. What do you think?
I assumed the outside was faster because in the first Ollie Bennett against Connor, the outside lane seemed faster, and then Connor got the jump on me, so I was assuming the outside lane's faster, but these guys are able to make it stick in the inside, so I think we have some work to do in the start.
Well, we saw that at Trois Rivières. Remember, that outside is where all the grip was, which is really interesting. But, regardless, different driving style throughout the weekend here. All right, so again, we got that of Robin Larson, Chris Meek. You're still in it. This gentleman's going to find himself at the bar in any moment right now because
I'm still waiting.
His day is done. His hand is empty. But just some exciting racing overall. And we were just talking about the conditions. As you say, they're transforming. They're changing every day. Hopefully it gets cold tonight. Maybe we see tomorrow even more ideal conditions.
Yeah, we had this, it was minus 20 last weekend, and then we got this wind blowing in that brought the hot air, and everyone's getting a little bit concerned with a slushy track, but to be honest, I think now it's below zero, it's starting to freeze up again, so it's, track's still in good shape.
Pastrana and Bakkerud. This should be a fun one to watch, obviously, with Pastrana being he's the only two-time podium finisher, right? And then Bakkerud, who's obviously going to twist the screws, your teammate, and obviously you're pulling for him, or are you?
Yeah. I mean, what we said about the points, I don't think Bakkerud will take any risks. We all know Travis.
Travis doesn't risk anything.
He wanna go get the belt.
Travis running the fantastic tribute livery to Ken Block's first proper rally livery, where everyone's like, you can't put that livery on a rally car, and Ken's like, I can, and it's going to be awesome. And look at that.
It's really nice.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really cool. So yeah, Travis in the 199. Backwards on that outside line.
You can see the more fluff on the inside. That corner where you exit the infield onto that throws the fluff out. I think you hit that fluff more on the inside, but
Don't give away your secrets, Meek.
Sorry?
Don't give away your secrets.
Well, I was proved wrong in the last race.
Yeah, true. Good point. All right, so there we are in the cockpit of Andreas Bakkerud, the DRR, Dreyer Reinbold RX Cartel team. And he was one-time teammate with Ken Block as well.
Yeah, a couple of seasons with the Focus RS RX.
All right, 30 seconds to Q-Coms. There are the stats you could see from Norway and from the US of A. Andreas Bakkerud and Pastrana. I saw Bakkerud, real short story, at Ken Block's Celebration of Life, and he says he was so envious of him. He used to follow, he unfollowed him on Instagram. He's like, I just love what he does, da-da-da. And then he got a call. And he says, do you want to be on my team? He's like, and he had to follow him back.
Yeah, but did you hear him?
He was so envious of him and loved everything he did, and he was a dream to race with him and be on his team, and he called him and says, I'm on your team.
What was so brilliant is he told me that he planned when he followed him back because he knew Ken would be asleep, so he followed him back at night because he thought he'd have so many notifications he wouldn't notice he'd unfollowed him. Lovely story.
Here we go. Absolute legends of their own. Andreas Bakkerud, Travis Pastrana, Bakkerud on that outside lane. You can see him tapping those brakes, going to the chicane. They're going too wide in the chicane. That could get sketchy. and they both come out unscathed.
I was surprised Travis backed out of that. On the outside line, I felt sure he was just going to go in deep and try and nudge it across, but he did back out, so backward leading. Ruts coming up in
Those
there.
grooves.
Chris, you'll have had that a ton of times in Rally Sweden, maybe a bit more than some of the drivers here would have done. What does it feel like in the ruts?
To be honest, we've done a lot of super specials, what we have on the very first stage, like a spectator stage, and we have a lot of those type of chicanes, so I have a bit of experience, but obviously these cars, this surface is different. But you see the way this loamy, icy snow is building up the outside. If you get out of that, the car, it aquaplanes. We normally talk about aquaplaning in water, but here it feels like you're aquaplaning on that loose snow and you just lose all grip.
Frozen aquaplanes.
0.6 of a second now. Pastrana closing down on the brakes. He's gone too deep though. I thought that was going to be a bit tight. I wondered how he managed to close on the brakes, and that was how he went too deep. So Travis loses a bit of time as he drops into the Yokohama choke, and again just trying to get the rotation. Watch for the sparks now as we drop under the tunnel and hits the crucial braking point. Late, get it turned in.
And that's exactly just what you're talking about. A combination of going in too hot, planing, getting into the really fluffy stuff, and that's just going to send you off in that.
Travis looks to have made a couple of mistakes there.
Yeah, I thought that too, Chris. On the same right-hander, wasn't it? Slightly too early in. Yeah. So Andreas now with 16.4. Jared, what was it? Wasn't it 14 and a half when it was close? So I think this is well in Baccarod's favour at the minute. Robin, your teammate, how's he driving?
He's looking really good. So I don't know if Travis moved the ball of hay.
Yeah.
So it will be even tighter for him to squeeze that in, but he got a really good gap. So
17 seconds,
Yeah, it looks like all signs are saying Andreas Baccarud. Pastrana, you can see him just braking and kind of just swerving into the trenches there around the hay bales. Baccarud performing surgery on that berm.
Oh yeah, he's a long way ahead.
You need to be careful with these huge big studs. If you catch that snowbank, it'll just pull you right in, so it's a fine line.
And there it is. Andreas Baccarud gets the checkered flag. DRR, RX Cartel, teammate Robin Larson up here in the booth. Chris Meek. We'll let you guys relax. Chris, I know you're still out there. Robin, the bar's right up there, so we'll see you later. You can bring me one as well.
It was Chris last time in Nitro we are on Go to the Bar. Not tonight. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, again,
Thanks,
just a great celebration, the Stampede. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so there it is with Andreas Baccarud.
Robin is off. He's heading for the stairs. Look at Andreas fully milking it already.
Throw out the horns. Get that man
Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd.
Yo, how we doing out there?
Massive crowd. Absolutely fantastic to see so many people at a Nitro Rallycross event. Sold out.
You paid for the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge.
Brilliant.
Well, it was fairly equally matched out of the gate, but Travis Pastrana made that major mistake going into that Joker lap. And
I was surprised he gave it up there, Jared. I just thought, what Travis is like, that maybe but you know what, also thinking about it, Travis will feel bad about what happened between him and Backer in Three Rivers, and he's such a lovely bloke. He's probably thinking, I'm not going to stuff him in a hay bale on lap 1 of the battle. So yeah, Backer takes it.
And look at that. That's what it normally looks like, the Calgary Stampede. And we talk about, the festival coming in, the blast and all that coming in. So come visit Calgary. Just absolutely beautiful city. So much artwork around and just the lighting and the contrast. I'm thoroughly impressed. Can't wait to bring my family back here and just concerts and just a bunch of cool stuff coming down.
Dude, 100%. What a great place.
All right, so taking a look at the brackets shaping up for the semifinal. So moving on is Meek versus McConnell. And then you got Kevin Eriksson versus Andreas Baccarud. Earlier, I got to catch up with a couple of the guys, and that was Travis Pastrana and a gentleman that's in the semifinals, Mr. Chris Meek. There it is. Thumbs up from this gentleman. Welcome to Canada. Once again, Travis Pastrana with me and Mr. Chris Meek. All right, the Chinook rolls in. It's a little watery out there. The ice is melted, but like I was saying, we were talking about, if you go to fly and the pilot says we can't take off, Mother Nature says, you know what, I'm gonna make it nice weather for you, but for us, we kind of want it colder. What are your thoughts?
We'll take off either way. I think Chris and I are on the same ballpark here, about the same page. We're just here to have fun. We got the biggest crowd in North America of all time time for rally, and we're going to put on a good show.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you guys are such talented drivers. Maybe dote on him while he's here, because I know he calls you T-Bone now, and we'll get to that in a moment.
Oh, come on.
Our first race together.
Yeah, after last weekend, shoot, I think my teammate might have some words to say as well, but that's what's so great about rallycross.
Exactly.
It's motocross with the roll cage. We are two of the most aggressive drivers. We start out real fast. Everyone else kind of figures it out. They road car meticulously kind of tear us apart by the end of the race, but I still feel like we're going to go 1-2 before the end of this at some point. I feel like he's the most fun to watch when we get together, which is all the time. I feel like almost every round we've literally come together.
Like magnets on our cars.
Yeah. Maybe it's because everyone else is in the main line and we're just taking up all the rest of the real estate.
But I mean, a lot of times you guys are sometimes in the back and you move up to the front. But Chris, again, going back to your rally, you're a traditional stage rally racer. Coming here, we talk about it going wheel to wheel. How has your experience been? Electric, wheel to wheel, all things nitro. You're just getting thrown the book, man. Something you've never seen before.
Yeah, it's something completely new to me. It's I've loved the experience. I'm used to my enemy is always the clock. Stopwatch going across a 30-mile mountain stage against a stopwatch. Here it's wheel to wheel, learning where to create a gap, try to go in, nudge your way past without the stewards looking.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's really nice. I've so much to learn. Nearly these young kids coming in 23, 24 years of age, they don't have a big history.
Yeah.
Motorsport, I have a lot to unlearn to get the best out of these EV vehicles. But on conditions like this, we're up against that in rallies. I've done winter rallies. It turns slushy. In rally, you have to adjust to the elements. So, we're going to have fun regardless.
Yeah. Put on a good show. The Stampede. I mean, we are at Calgary Stampede, so we're branding this the Stampede. You just got done with Race of Champions just last weekend and week and all that, and I asked you how it went. So you didn't get a ton of track time, but you did have some great conversations with somebody like Sebastian Vettel and obviously the Solbergs. Like, what's the consensus on the FC1X from those guys?
Dude, FC1X, they were just smiling. I've never seen so many of the world champions in all different disciplines. They were like giddy coming off with this FC1X. It has so much power, so much more traction with just, those Yokohamas that have just such long spikes sticking out of them. Oliver Solberg, he made some very, very great drivers look kind of silly. His first lap, he sent it in, and when I told him probably lift a little for the jump, he hit the boost button going off. I thought he almost broke his back on the landing, and he was just laughing after the wind came back. So looking forward to seeing some of these guys. Even Vettel, really think we might be seeing more of him next season. This is something that could be really cool.
Call him out. There's your chance. Go, Travis. Go. Hit him with it.
I've already called him out.
There it is.
Sebastian Vettel, four-time F1 champion. He's definitely going to come over and at least give it a shot. We had Jensen Button earlier this year, and this sport's not for everyone. It's pretty crazy. We have huge gap jumps. There's a lot more contact involved. It's not by yourself. It's not, FIM rules. This is a little bit more like Nitro Circus. It's a little bit more excitement, a little bit more crazy, a little more chaos, and that's
exactly why I love it.
Yeah.
and great segue. What racers would you like to see wheel to wheel on the start grid, or them in your rearview mirror? Who else would you like to see out here?
Yeah, I seen all the faces of the guys coming off. That was the creme de la creme of world motorsport. Formula One, NASCAR drivers, rallycross, everyone there, and everyone's coming with their face beaming. Anyone out there that looks at this and smiles, you need to get here and try to drive it. It's awesome. It's just mega. It's such an experience, and I haven't done all the rounds this year, but what I've experienced of it, the track in Phoenix, which Travis helped design, man, I turned up, it looked like a computer game, someone like you used to on a PlayStation, but it was it's such an awesome track to drive, and I know Travis has big plans in the future to create some more gnarly stuff, so I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Travis.
Thank you.
The show continues here in Calgary. So taking a look,
over Calgary.
The sun is officially down. It's dark, and again, we saw all those fans. They're sticking out. They nowhere to go, man. They here.
I know what they've done. They've waited until they've seen the quarterfinals there, and they're running in for the jars and the beers, and maybe a hot dog.
And this is what it's like here in the summer here. So visit Calgary. Be sure to head on up and again support a great venue here. Man, the fireworks,
dude! I was just looking at the horse going nuts and the guy getting chucked off it. It's like, wow. Our thing yesterday, we were wussies. How long did we last on the bucking bronco thing?
2 seconds.
Yeah, Look at that.
Incredible. Honestly, I can't. The size of the crowd here and their enthusiasm. Bearing in mind, it could have been -24, and they all bought the tickets ages ago. They're obviously not scared of the cold. I mean, I guess if you live here, you're not scared of the cold anyway. But so good to see a crowd of that size here in the winter. As it is in the summer. We're in the arena here. Actually, there's tons of fans coming in now around us. You can't see it so much on the other side, but they're all able to come down and get close up to the drivers. The drivers were here. Fraser was throwing like Jamaican flags up
His
here.
beanies. He's
people coming up. Can you start my
energy
shirt?
beanies. And speaking of Fraz,
there's Fraz now.
Yeah, so taking some photos and just an absolute rising star, and just continues to progress as a driver, and just a great personality, and just with the small grid with 9 people, you just see how intimate and everybody, they're all kind of just rising tide lifts all ships. And that's how I feel about it, because everybody, like Robin said, I'm still figuring out, well, you're leading the championship.
But Chris, just there talking to Travis about Race of Champions, going, you've got to come and try these cars. And I was talking to him earlier on. Super successful WRC driver, so much experience. I've got so much to learn with these cars, and it's just great to see. So yeah, having a great time. Hope you guys are as well.
I'd love to give you guys a visual right now. Take Travis Pastrana and Andreas Backerud out on a dinner experience, and the check gets laid down, and the question is who's going to take the check? Does that fairly describe that start?
Yeah, I mean, it was super awkward going into turn 1, and we were like looking at each other. I was braking, he was braking, I was braking, he was braking. So, I mean, I think it comes down to the previous race in Three River, where he kind of like did the reverse into me. So he was being kind of a gentleman. At the same time, I had an inside line. So yeah, it all played in my favor. So that was a nice one.
Now the next thing is you tried to throw the horns there at the tail end. That was for that win, and that was for the fans here in Calgary. How much fun is it out there?
No, it's so much fun to see all the fans there. I mean, like every time I come to Canada in general, they are so enthusiastic over their drivers and the sport they're watching, and they're having a blast no matter what. And I want to provide as good show as possible out here together with the rest of the Nitro Rallycross, and I think we're doing so.
And as it relates to what's next now, you kind of have potentially a few more runs out there. What's going to be the biggest challenge?
I mean, it's hard with the start. It's very fluffy out there. We don't have a snow tire, we have an ice tire, and with the temperature we're having, it's super hard and tricky to dial that in 100%, but I feel that we're pretty good in the RS Cartel and GC race technique. We just need to get in there and do the job.
Well, and as we can feel here in the stadium, it is starting to get a little bit cooler out there, and it's something that hopefully comes too for these guys out on the ice.
All right, some great insight there. And Coley, man, I don't know where your crystal ball is in your pocket, but you just seem to be calling it, and there it is. You said you think Travis Pastrana is a little gentlemanly rule there.
Yeah, side by side, you make a decision at that point. I'm stuffing us both into the barriers, or one of us is going to come off well and the other isn't. And sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. He will have known the start was crucial. But as they're side by side, he'll have gone, yeah, you know what, after last weekend, maybe. And I love the fact Andreas has given him that nod straight away. Brilliant, look at this.
Look at this. Insta 360 footage. I believe that's Meek. That's Meek right there, the 62 Excite Energy vehicle right behind us. But some great footage.
Yeah, look at the slip angle, Jared. So coming into the corner, his camera there, and you just see the angle on the car, getting it straight, trying to find that traction onto the back straight. So this is before they put the chicanes in. Yeah, it is. So that's the Joker off to the right. So they put the chicanes in later because it was like, you know what? That's hella fast. Oh, this was Chris. He passed Ollie in practice this morning. So I was stood right up top right of the grandstand, which is where the spotters are on the highest level up there, where that hanging kind of office area is. And you could see him coming out. Yeah, it's 8:30 this morning they did that. And again, that was to get practice done in cold conditions. And then it was a big break until the fans started arriving about 3 o'clock. Here's a look back.
Great angle, good perspective. Rotiforms on the corners, wrapped in those 300 studded Yokohama tires. And now we're looking at the Ericssons, which is that Kevin or Ollie?
Do you know what, Jared? The whole red and orange thing, I always forget which one is which, and I'm going to have a word with Andreas and just go, you need to make this easier, you know?
Yeah, the color's too similar, but there's Ollie Bennett, the My Energy vehicle, right with Ollie. He got knocked out early. And for actually both those vehicles, the Excite My Energy vehicles, both Ollie and Meek's still in, but Robin Larson, he's knocked out.
That's
Robin taking a look forward at one of the Insta360 cameras as well. They've got all different types mounted up on the car in different places. Up to the jump, they'll watch him check up, he'll nudge the brake, you see the nose go down, up and over, and then try and butter the landing. And what we were seeing this morning in practice was that some of the drivers were hitting it really hard, and the first lap out, they all nearly landed to flat, and they're like, yeah, maybe not. So lap 2, they were checking up a little bit more, so just trying to figure out. And of course, you can take a risk on that. We may see that when we've got your cars side by side and more cars on track. Do you risk a flat landing? Bad for you, bad for your back, but can you take the lead with it?
All right, as we got this Insta360 footage, Katie, what's going on?
It's more of a question. Yeah, obviously standing by with Kevin Eriksson, he was saying that the car felt really good. The goal here is obviously, as we know, and it's an ongoing conversation, is to get the whole shot. Now, for you guys in the booth, I'm just a little bit curious as it relates to those who have had experience driving in maybe ice and slush, different than someone like Fraser McConnell. So let's take Kevin Eriksson, let's take Chris Meek. These guys know what it's like, whether it's because of where they're from or their driving experiences. Like, these guys come from Sweden. Don't you think that that might help pay off in something like this compared to Fraser out of Jamaica?
I think you're on the nose just as far as what region you're from, what you're used to driving. Also, I think the Erikssons have a major advantage. Kevin has the most experience behind the wheel of the FC1X. He helped develop the vehicle.
He did.
Ollie's right behind him.
I think maybe, you know, Katie, when the conditions change, this is the other thing. So Fraz, he went to Finland, he did some training on a lake and everything was rad. And then you come to Trois Rivières and the conditions changed from when he was the top qualifier. We lost the track a little bit overnight, but the temperatures came up, and that's maybe where the experience of the guys who've done it a bit more comes in. You're able to read the conditions as they change.
Yeah, some great insight there. Great question there, Katie. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our Nitro Rallycross next. Now, this is the LCQ, last chance qualifier. There's only 4 vehicles, so the number 1 vehicle that's already in the finals is Kasper Jansson. Here's who's on the grid for our LCQ. You can see Jimmy Henderson with the pole position. On the front row, Lane Michaela, and bring up the rear, Eric Gordon, the number 99. So they'll all be in the final. It's all about position. It's all about racing. With the LCQ, you know, it's
I tell you who's most important for Jared is Henderson. He's on the pole here, but last time Henderson got tons of wheel spin and he went backwards. I mean, got swallowed up by the whole pack. So watch your man, front right of your screen is Jimmy Henderson, Lane Michaela on the left-hand side in the black, white, and red. Watch for the wheel spin. Let's see if he gets it dialed in this time round.
All right.
It's a jump start.
We got a jump start.
So who was that?
It looked like Lane might have
I thought Lane. There was a tiny nudge, wasn't there?
Just a slight bump. Are they going to give him a delay, or are they they're not going to force another joker? That would be brutal.
Yes, they would.
Holy cow.
Jeez, yeah.
Oh,
ow. That's not quite the same as 2 jokes in Trois Rivières, is it?
No.
Get the candle out, Jared, and we'll measure the gap.
We'll see you next year.
Wow.
Holy cow. Two jokers.
He's basically, not
I hope not.
This is a double header in Lane with 2 jokers. He'll be into tomorrow's race. But by the time he comes out the joker, he could win tomorrow's race with the double joker. Yeah, that's if it was him that jumped. We should see someone come out and tell one of the drivers who it was. I mean, they'll know already, but come on, who's getting the double joker?
Yeah, they both kind of jumped. It looked like Lane jumped and then Jimmy Henderson kind of jumped. So
yeah, you react.
They're both affected.
Got tons of people standing in the service park watching. Great to see.
Yeah, some great fans here. I was told a nice solid joke right there. He says, guess what? Chicken butt. Yeah, okay. Solid one. You got me. All right, so let's see. Is it a 5-second penalty?
Yeah, we're having a confirmed 55, Lane Michaela. So, yeah.
And the repercussions of that, has that been dictated?
There it is. 2 times joke.
Man.
Pow, right in the kisser. So that's going to be 15 seconds, basically. Obviously, everybody takes 1, so that one doesn't count, but the second one, that'll see him 15 off. So that's handy for Henderson, particularly because Michaela is on the front row. And you know what? Eric Gordon, as Henderson's teammate, Eric will know that Henderson needs to be on the front row tonight with Kasper Jansson. Kasper Jansson is on the pole already.
So that's going to tell you real quick, especially for Group E tomorrow and even for the bracket battles, right? So you do not jump. do not jump here at the Calgary Stampede.
That's a really good point, Jared. Yeah, this is not the place that you take a chance on.
Holy cow.
I might get away with it, yeah, or you might be in yesterday.
Yeah. All right, here you can see the clock ticking down. 10 seconds to go. Lane Vakela, unfortunately, will be penalized. He has to hit the Joker lap twice. Then Jimmy Henderson on the pole and Eric Gordon bringing up the rear. We talk about that wheel spin, and there you go. Looks like they all get off fairly quickly. A little bit of wheel spin there, but again, Lane Vakela, 2 of those 3 laps will be penalized with going into the Joker lap through that chicane. Nice job there.
Interestingly, he didn't go, and if I were Gordon, I then would have gone, because you know, as Vakela hasn't gone on lap 1, Jared, he's going to have to go on lap 2 and lap 3. So Gordon could have gone Joker there, knowing that Vakela will eventually drop out. When I would have thought Lane might have gone on lap 1, but he doesn't. He wants to follow Henderson on this lap. So,
but as you said, are they allowed to?
Yeah, good point.
Right. So they couldn't have.
No.
So
that's every session, isn't it?
So yeah. So basically,
yeah,
it's gonna get weird. But
that's a shame.
Right now, it's just saying that Henderson will, if he maintains his pole, he's out there quite a bit. Lane Vakela is behind him, but with that punishment of 2 Joker laps, Gordon will slide in 2nd position. That's kind of you know the future by looking at the past.
So watch Vakela now. He'll jump on the brakes a bit earlier than Henderson. Henderson's going to go straight on. Vakela's going to do a 90 right. In he goes. Watch this now. It's crest dip on the way through. You don't see that, and then around that right, there's a lot of slush there. Chris Meek was saying about that can really run you wide. He runs a bit deep in the right-hander into the tunnel, out into the roost on the outside line. But he's got 2 of these to do. It doesn't matter how mint it is.
Yeah.
I'm afraid he's going to be a long way off the pack by the end.
That is a massive uphill battle in more ways than one. So again, 2 penalties, or excuse me, 2 Joker laps is penalized Lane Vakela. So Gordon will probably go for it on this lap, as Vakela will as well. But that gap already being separated. Pretty straightforward for Henderson. Seems to keep it tidy. And you can see, we've seen so many Group E runs. It's really chopped it up, and you could say, as Meek was saying, just how kind of chunky and icy it is. Looks like they did a little bit of grooming on the course, though, so kind of evening the surface out.
He does it. You can see they don't have the turning in the same way. Where they don't have the big spikes, they're not able to jump on the brake, dig the car in, and get the rotation on it. So just having to wait a little bit longer on the turning to get the rotation in the car. With the leader now, Henderson, as he pops out of the Yokohama Joker tyre lap tunnel there. Super cool to have a tunnel on a Joker.
Yeah.
Little dab of the left foot on the brake. Again, watch the brake lights, and you'll see that as he comes now onto the straight, just trying to get it straight. And then look at this through here. Thread the eye of the needle, super tight on the K-rail on the left. And yeah, tidily done.
Nose down, you can see again, just with the Group E compared to the next vehicles, they're not totally clearing that flat portion, that tabletop.
This morning they were going okay. Remember, Henderson's come out of the Joker lap there, so he doesn't have quite such a run. Vakela's spun, so not only has he had a problem he's had 2 Jokers, he's actually buried it in the snowbank. Every span or just ran deep. But yeah, as you come out of here, the run-up isn't so long to the jump. If they go down the standard straight, they can butter the landing. I was watching them do it this morning, but everybody got it wrong on their first lap. With the Group E cars where they're jumping to flat, these guys were nosing across they're just casing the jump a little bit. Casper Janssen got it right on his first lap.
Yeah, he did. And again, Casper just a little more refined, but like you said, only his 2nd season. That kind of goes back to Katie's point about where you're from, what you've raced. But Jimmy Henderson, whoa, okay. Yeah, well, again, the announcer's curse. That's what we call it right there.
But off the main straight, you could do it. So if we watch, I think, so Eric checks up early because he doesn't want to come down. Eric's older and wiser.
Right.
And he's running 3 cars this weekend as well. Back 40 Motorsport are running Henderson. In fact, all 3 cars in this race. Lane Vakela as well is running with them.
Yeah, the back 40 Motorsports team. So Jimmy Henderson comes out on top. Eric Gordon, who said he's having an absolute blast out here. He came up and says, dude, it's so much fun. And then Lane Vakela bring up the rear. Unfortunately, got that jump out of the gate and got penalized. Said, whistle got blown. Says, you got to go to the Joker lap twice. Sorry, Vakela. Just always a fun dude to be around. So Jimmy Henderson, Eric Gordon, Lane Vakela. That's how the NRX Next LCQ ends up. Joining them in the finals will be Casper Janssen. As we are are seeing the track all lit up, and the stands, right? Like you can't see them, but behind the camera, you're seeing a lot of fans here. It's pretty awesome.
Oh,
so
great.
As
there you go.
you can see the pits.
So that you can see our area bottom left with all the lights up, and everybody in here watching now for the Group E drivers who remain in the battle brackets.
All right, well, we've seen some great events. There it is, Andreas Backerud throwing some stuff to the fans. So again, let's take a look back at, I love this track, ERX, and we saw some amazing makes and some amazing mistakes. Let's take a look back at ERX.
On to round 3 and Nitro's return to American soil, hosted by the ERX Motor Park in Minnesota. After the Scandinavian dominance in the first 2 rounds, the Americans came out hungry for a win. The round started on a slightly sour note as both Andreas Backerud and Fraser McConnell had massive crashes during practice, but they escaped with only minor injuries and were even able to compete in day 2. Despite Pastrana and Martel's efforts, the battle bracket final was again contested between 2 Scandinavians.
Let's see who gets the whole shot. Kevin Eriksson, like Matto said, he's got that inside line. Green means go, send it. And look, you can see it's drying out, so they're getting a good launch. Kevin Eriksson takes that whole shot. Hey, this is mine. Take my ball and I'm going home. Kevin Eriksson, nice job there. Robin Larson gets into formation. Let's see how they go. Like you said, getting that nice inside line on turn 2. Coley.
Larson got a better exit off the jump there. I thought he was going to edge Eriksson. Going to go deep and try and get the undercut on the exit, but Eriksson has absolutely held the inside line. Didn't run wide. Runs the car to the outside line. Now, brilliant driving.
Yeah, really well done there by Kevin Eriksson. He got wide, he threw out his elbows, and put the block on Robin Larson. Now, Robin's going to try to find his time. Does he get the pass, on the jump, or is it going to be on the hit? Does he take the Joker lap early on?
Robbie, what's your thoughts? What do you do now if you're in Larson's shoes?
You've got to take the Joker. I would have.
But no Jokers in the battles. So he's got to pass him on track. He's got to pass him on track. So you just got to keep making the guy look in his mirrors, haven't you?
Yeah, he tried to set him up for the inside there a couple of times, and I think he's just going to stay with that play, trying to get up the inside. But it looks like Eriksson's covering every time, so he's going to have to go for the outside at some point.
Larson really Sendy through that long left-hander at the last corner there. You could see him chucked it in, got close to the bank. Look at the roost going up over the front of Larson's screen. Goes big on the jump. The dirt flies off the roof now. Look how dirty his screen is. Trying to clean it up. Wants to see his target. Looks inside again, nearly into the back of Kevin, but again Kevin holds on. Now Larson takes the alternate line.
Yeah, so this is where opportunity could strike here. Let's see how fast Larson is through there. And no, does not get him. This is 3 laps. All thrill or no filler, baby.
Great driving by Kevin, holding Larson off here. Remember, he's been out of the car for 2 months, broke his ankle. Since then, he's become a dad as well. Is this going to be a third celebration? Recovery, fatherhood. Now, is he going to take TQ? He was the test driver. We thought coming into this season he might have an advantage, and then disaster struck at Linden Hill. Larson, though, is all over the back of him. We've got another lap to go. Robin Larson trying to steal the TQ from Kevin.
What a great reintroduction for Kevin Eriksson to come back in. I talked about the confidence that Larson has, but right now, this is a huge confidence booster for Kevin Eriksson. Again, he has more seat time than anybody. His family, his dad, they developed this car together, so it's great to see him back out here. Matto, what do you think?
Kevin Eriksson is turning on. This is great. It's
Robin.
Robin's driving all over him. He's over him like a rash. He seems almost quicker, but he's just not able to get the job done. Hopefully he does.
All right, so here we go. Kevin Eriksson just holds him off, holds him at bay. Couple more turns. Larson chomping at the bit. They are both turned up to 10s.
He's going out wide. Larson going to try and carry the speed through this right-hander with the Joker entry on the right. This corner isn't quite as wide as it was. It gives Kevin a nudge in the rear. He's letting him know he's there. Larson up the inside of Kevin, making the pass.
He's going for it. Look at Robin Larson gets the pass. Kevin Eriksson, we got contact, and Robin Larson with 2 turns to go. He gets aggressive and he gets the win. Wow, Robin, that was sick.
The start of day 2 was an eventful one. Pastrana took the lead in Heat 1, but was closely followed by Kevin Eriksson. In the last lap, the Swede, pushing hard, had a massive crash. In Heat 2, an exciting duel between Larson and Ollie Eriksson was cut short when Eriksson spun, so the TQ man comfortably slid into the final. Semi-final 1 saw an easy win for Fraser McConnell, but behind him the show was stolen in a fierce battle between Ollie Eriksson and Andrew Carlson. The second semi-final hosted another exciting battle, this time between Martel and Backerud. Inspired by his teammate, the young American squeezed by Backerud to take the flag. Pastrana then on the outside. We know he'll try the round the outside move if he can. His teammate Martel has looked brilliant all weekend. What can McConnell do? Oh, is that jump start on the left-hand side? They might let that go if he hasn't moved too far. It was Backerud. Green light, they've let it go, so Backward stopped it on the grid in time. Larson off the line, Martel up straight in behind. McConnell trying to go around the outside. Inside line there for Travis Pastrana as they go up over the big jump. Pastrana's got the inside, he jumps super long, takes the lead immediately. We said he'd risk it. He risks it immediately. And now inside, Larson, you're on board now with Pastrana. We need to see the outside. Where is everybody in the background? Oh, look, Pastrana hops up over. Larson's gone down the outside line. McConnell, I think it is, on the inside into P3. And then it's backwards, side by side in the background with Martel.
Look at Pastrana out front. Larson, like I said, he is a threat, but look at that fight back there for 4th and 5th. So again, we're talking about those, you know, the Vermont sports cars. Look at Fraser McConnell in 3rd. That's fantastic.
Unreal after yesterday. McConnell ended yesterday, remember, sitting in a pond in a written-off car after the biggest accident of his career. He said it felt like it went on forever. He's now in a podium position here at ERX. Incredible. Pastrana, though, stretching his legs big time. He really is risking it, Jared.
He is absolutely gapping. We talked about this. Trust the equipment, but is he going to push it too much? Debeating tire. I mean, holy cow. He is absolutely pitting it right now.
Is that too much from Pastrana? Backwards got around Martel. Pastrana still leads. Larson is second. Right there with him is Fraser McConnell. McConnell goes to the right lane. Inside line for Larson. Larson hooks a wheel up on the bank.
Yeah, did you see him catch that berm a little bit, kicking that car up? But Pastrana looks like he is, he's got all the clean air. He's got the fastest lap. A 53.8. That is blazing.
Backwards gone all the way around the outside in the rear here. I don't know if he's trying to make a pass or not up over the jump. He's chasing. Martel's got back past, has he? So Martel and Backward have swapped places again. We didn't see that. McConnell in behind Larson. Nobody's. Bennett and Ericsson have gone Joker. Backward goes in now. So Andreas Backward's gone Joker from 4.1 seconds back.
All right, so you can see that. You can see half of the field has hit that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. But man, I'll tell you what, I'm really proud of Fraser McConnell too. You know, we had those. Katie had the words with Andreas Backward about being a little bit gun shy, a little PTSD. Fraser, he's going for it. He's absolutely throwing down. So again, another 52.8 from Travis Pastrana, the fastest lap we've seen.
Yeah, Pastrana is absolutely leaving it all out there. We've seen one big jumper, saw him leaning hard into this corner last time. He's pitched it in. Full confidence, as you said, he's going to come up now. Let's see how long he goes over this. I think he'll wait until the end of the race, Jared, to go Joker, but he cannot afford to make any mistakes. Larson, McConnell, and now Martel is back onto the back of McConnell. So Martel has closed down the gap a little bit in the back. He goes Joker. Martel goes Joker this time.
Good approach by Connor Martel. Again, with those VSC teams. What do you got? All right, so taking a look at Pastrana, again, that fight for 3rd. Connor Martel does take that Joker lap. Travis Pastrana, look at, I mean, very smooth on that initiation. And then you can see, again, Robin Larson has the target on his back.
I was wondering where Martel would come out when he'd gone Joker. I think he was trying to protect himself from Backward, and Backward's got him. So Backward managed to get him at the merge. Tidily done by the Norwegian. Martel, I think that was in response. That would mean that Backward is quite close to McConnell. At the minute, the gap is 11 to 3. So no, I think there's enough. What's that? 8 seconds. That's enough.
Yeah.
So at the minute, the podium might just hold on. There's a real bun fight going on back here as well, which will be helping the leaders just edge away.
All right, so again, our 1, 2, and 3 have not taken their Joker lap. We are on lap 4 of 6, so quite a bit of racing still left. Keeping the equipment, keeping it together. Oh, going for the Joker is Fraser.
Yeah, McConnell in the Joker lap now, so watch in the background. It's easily got enough. They need to be on the exit of that previous corner. Fraser McConnell's going to get that done and hold on to P3. What a performance by the Jamaican. Sitting in a pond yesterday with not a panel left on the car, sitting in a podium position with 2 laps to go.
When do you think Travis should take the Joker? Last lap?
He'll go last lap. I'm almost certain of that. I think he'll go last lap. He doesn't want to put himself within range of anyone else. If he wants an insurance policy, maybe just before, but they might wait. I mean, it's only about Larson, really. Larson, I think, will go this time. What's it going to be? It's close for Larson and McConnell. I think Larson will go this time.
Yeah, I think it's very smart for Larson to go. We saw that amazing pass, but he just doesn't have it. It's 2 seconds. You know, yesterday with him and Kevin Eriksson, he was a lot cleaner, a lot tighter. Woo! Look at that suspension. Just this, you saw that droop from the suspension. Travis, oh, here we go. Robin Larson does go for the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. So again, he is in second, and it looks like he does have enough distance between him and Fraser McConnell. He will hold on to that number 2 position. But look at Pastrana. He's not even in the shot.
He is absolutely checked out. He gave his, what was it, State of the Nation speech in on Friday, and at the time I think we all thought, well, this is a good laugh, but he absolutely
delivered.
It's already one side-by-side, Jared. That was a lot harder than this is looking, but it's not over yet.
Not over, man. We still, again, this is the final lap, the number 199. Look at the attitude. He is trusting the equipment. He's trusting himself. himself. And guess what? Like he said, the state of the nation, he says, not anymore. This is America. This is Nitro Rallycross, and we're going to win this thing. So guess what? He might as well deliver right now.
He's leaning on it so hard. Gonna go into the Joker lap now, just into the right-hander. Look at the look on his face. Full concentration. He'll now take the brakes on. Get the car just going a little bit slower, and here he goes now.
Here we go. So it's saying he's going to retain first. He's got to keep it clean. The race face is on. The 199, he made a big statement, and is he going to deliver? One more turn to get the win here. Our first round here in America. He throws up the fist, and there he goes. The double checkered for TP. Travis Pastrana gets the win here at ERX, baby. Robin Larson, almost a perfect event for him. TQ yesterday gets second, and Fraser McConnell, like he said, from the pond to the podium, baby.
Well, one of the semifinals coming up as these cars are getting ready to head out to the grid is against Fraser McConnell and Chris Meek. Now, in talking to Chris Meek, you know, he had one of the fastest laps out there earlier today, but in looking, and honestly, one of those epic finishes in the quarters. But the real thing is he noticed he actually made quite a few mistakes in that race. He figured out that he had missed some things within the Joker, including getting into the Joker, not knowing those hay bales were sitting there, not knowing that chicane was there. That's an area he wants to clean up. As his teammate said as he was getting ready to get in the car, keep it smooth, mate. Keep that in mind. And of course, must be a little bit tough out there and all that slush to keep it smooth, but that's what Chris Meek is going to be focusing on. Meanwhile, Fraser McConnell, he said, I'm not scared by the fact that Chris Meek has been doing World Rally since before I was born. That doesn't seem to bother me. I'm going to keep thinking about the reaction time that I have. And furthermore, I had a really great battle with him in the quarterfinals back in Quebec, and I came out on top there. So I'm going to channel a little bit of that kind of action that happened in Trois-Rivières. Meanwhile, the cars that just left was Andreas Backerud and Kevin Eriksson. Now, in talking to Kevin Eriksson, he said that car is set up really great. And of course, as we all have been talking about all season long, really is that the Eriksson brothers know more about this car and are probably more comfortable in the seat of this car than anybody else that they're running against. Also, the fact that he grew up in Sweden, he's pretty comfortable in these conditions. Meanwhile, Andreas Backerud, on the other hand, he said that it's really tough to go up against Kevin Eriksson. He said he's driven with him forever. He's very aware of his style. The biggest challenge would be being behind him. He said, our driving styles are so incredibly different that I have to get out in front of him, because following him on a track like this, I don't want to do anything that he's doing, knowing that my style is incredibly different.
Yeah, here we go. We've seen 9 vehicles now whittled down to 4. We saw 8, and then of course the winner of each of these semifinals will go to the final here at our Calgary Stampede event. A-Shock Energy Nitro Rallycross road to the finish line, baby. Chris Meek versus Fraser McConnell. Some great insight there from Katie Osborne. And then on the other side of it, you'll see Kevin Eriksson versus Andreas Backerud. The winner of each of those battles moves on to the finals. Who's coming out on top for a first ever FC1X race here in Calgary. Many different countries being represented, different driving styles. That's the insight that we've just learned from Katie Osborne. A little bit of grooming to the track, not too much kind of abrasiveness given courtesy of the NRX Next vehicles. All right, so again, here we are. Chris Meek and Fraser McConnell. Here's the stats, here's the numbers. 5-time World Rally Champion. He's second in the 2021 Rally Nordic Championship. Fraser McConnell, just his family, very supportive. The green, yellow, and black flag flying high here. And Chris Meek, he's from Ireland, so we're gonna, our Glen Helen finale It's on St. Paddy's Day.
Northern Ireland, but still Ireland.
Still Ireland.
They go
I mean,
for
he's
that.
more Irish than me. How about that?
They go for that.
Okay.
But yeah, Chris, interestingly, Jared spent all that time here in announcing with us, watching people make little mistakes in the joke lap, watch Travis do his little thing. And will he be able to focus and get this bang on? A lot of wheel spin from Fraser McConnell on the inside line. Chris Meek gets squeezed out a little bit. He's going to have to follow him on the brakes. Look how late he is on the brakes here. He's going to be right up behind Fraser. He knows he's got to be on that tailgate, Jared, if he wants to get the overlap on him. Remember, he got the overlap last time with Joker Tactics. Can he do it again?
Look at, there's that spray. He said he didn't want to be behind him. You could see that spray. So see how it's getting colder? So the snow blast, oh, look at that. His hood's flying up and flapping in the wind. No big deal. Remember, electric, so it's not like the engine is exposed. But you can see, look at how the snow is drier, so it's actually kicking up and roosting. Previously, earlier, it was wetter and heavier, so it didn't get up into the windscreen of the driver behind you.
Few car lengths back now for Chris Meek. Expect him to go Joker here if Fraser doesn't. Fraser could dummy him off and go in early. I don't think he'll do that, but we've not seen anyone do it so far, and he doesn't. So Chris Meek now has got to absolutely nail this on. He's 1.1 back. This needs to be about 14.5 when he comes out, or when Fraser goes in, if he's going to stand a chance of getting him on the overlap.
All right, here goes Chris Meek. It looks like they even brought a little bit of more snow in the tunnel. Oh man, look at that landing on that front left Yokohama tire. Goes Fraser McConnell. See some ruts being created there on that left-hand turn. Chris Meek, did he close the gap? Where's he at?
We didn't see if he made any mistakes in the top corners, Jared. I felt he was good in the right-hander, although again it looked like he had more grip than he thought when he turned in. The nose went in early. McConnell's lap looks good. It's 15.4. I think this will be enough for Fraz. He should have about a second if he gets his Yokohama Joker lap right, and that's the thing really. I say Meek's one was good. Remember, he was a second back when he went in, so Fraz does need to get the Joker lap right. Here comes Chris now. Watch how late he is on the brakes. Committed. Oh, rubs it on the right and the left. This is on.
Solid threading the needle.
This is on.
It's going to be close. Here we go. Fraser McConnell coming in the Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and Fraz gets him. Chris Meek absolutely threading the needle through that chicane, but Fraz comes out on top.
2.6, Jared. So either Fraser did an absolutely killer Joker lap, or potentially Chris just made a little mistake. We saw he was a little bit sideways, didn't we? Coming off the banked bend.
Enter down the tunnel in the Joker is really, really slippery. The grip is better than the last run.
So he's talking about that Joker lap going in a slippery. He's getting some comments saying beautiful drive, and that's where he was the first one where we saw the sparks come from when so again, that concrete, the spikes, I mean that's like a dog on kind of a marble surface, trying to get that traction.
Fraser was quicker according to the lap times, Jared. He was about a second quicker on the standard lap. And what was he, 1.1? Yeah, it was 2.6. He was about 1.1 quicker on the Joker. Don't forget, you've also got the sector, the half a lap prior to that. So, yeah, Fraz got that done big time. The Jamaican goes through to the final. Can he get another TQ on snow and ice? Remember, he was the top qualifier last time in Trois Rivières. Can Fraser McConnell make it 2 on the bounce? A Jamaican on snow and ice. I talked about it yesterday.
Cool runnings, feeling it.
Yes, please.
I mean, he didn't convert it in Trois Rivières. The Ericsson's ollie was just absolutely masterclass. He came out on top. So as we see, Fraser McConnell, he's going to the finals. One more race, and he wins here in Calgary. All right.
For generations, farmers have grown the humble, nutritious cassava. Harvested, ground, and then baked to perfection. Cassava transforms into our iconic bami. Now, imagine this uniquely Jamaican product being enjoyed at dinner tables across the world. A taste of Jamaica in every bite. Rainforest Bami, from our farm to your table.
Proven Wealth Limited. We are experts in investments, stock brokerage, financial advisory, corporate finance, cambio and foreign exchange, asset management, unit trust management, pension fund management. Let us manage your wealth to suit your lifestyle. Contact us today at 876-908-3800 or visit our website at provenwealth.com.
Down and just used all of his points on that push to pass on that start, and it paid off. That could be the deal breaker. You know what I mean? That 2 seconds getting out front and getting that clean air. All right, Kevin Eriksson running the famous 23. Both him and his brother love wearing Jordans too, even in the snow. Andreas Backrud with the number 13, the DRR JC RX Cartel. Let's see who gets the start, who's spinning him. Kevin Eriksson, look at him digging in the claws and gets the jump on Andreas Backrud.
You saw him look down at the dash, Jared. He's adjusting the throttle at that point, but they pull on the handbrake. They a percentage up on the screen, which lets them know exactly how much power they're going to put down. They've dialed in the settings, and then Kevin looked up at the lights and he never blinked. His face lit up green, and that was what told us that he was away from the line. He has absolutely smashed that start. Backward, he's 0.7 back already.
Wow, look at that. Ooh, nice, man. Absolutely almost going to flat there is Kevin Eriksson and that Olsberg's machine. Andreas Backrud, you'll see him really kind of just get that buffer and try to get it over that berm, but Eriksson is absolutely flying right now.
Eriksson said to me yesterday, I came out of the new year and he said, I just felt I wasn't focusing enough at the events. He said, I want to focus. He's got 1.9 over Andreas. I'm wondering if Andreas has got a tiny issue. That's taking nothing away from Kevin. He's driving brilliantly, 2.2. He's going backwards quite quickly here, but either way, this looks like it's going to go the way of Kevin Eriksson, but 2 very long joker laps to come yet. Here comes Backward now. Watch for the sparks. There they are, as those 300 plus studs on each of these tires light up the tarmac underneath the ice.
Well done. So quite a contrast. You saw him air it out on that first jump, and now just clean sailing. His spotter's saying, hey, don't overdrive the car, because that's where you're going to make a mistake. As Meek says, that berm, if you hit one of those with that front left or front right tire, that's going to grab you and really disrupt your vehicle and maybe cause some damage and get you go off course. We saw that in Trois Rivières.
14.5 we think would be enough. 17.0 should be easy for Kevin Eriksson. His spotters will be onto him. They'll give him the split if that's what he wants.
Yep.
Where's Eriksson now? So Backward coming out onto the straight.
Eriksson's in that Yokohama tire joker lap, so this is the final lap. So here goes Backward. He's at that joker lap entry, but he obviously already utilizes.
That's what I wanted to see. Look at that, Joe. Jumps on the brake. You can see just flicking the car. Then he gets on the handbrake. Didn't get the rotation he wanted. He's miles in front.
Yeah.
He's absolutely destroyed Backward here. Wow.
Checkered flag is out. Kevin Eriksson gets the win, and just really, really well done. That start, like you said, this is just, that start getting out front, forcing your, the guy behind you to go into that joker lap. That's a huge, huge advantage. And you gotta be so tidy.
Look how chilled he looks. He's dialed. He's just really dialed.
Cruising on a Saturday night, just taking my 1,000 horsepower electric car out, man. Wearing my Jordans. Yeah, just really well done. Here is that start that we talk about. And look at Andreas getting blasted there with some snow. Kevin working the wheel. Here we are riding with Eriksson. Getting that side bite, digging in, staying on throttle. Out of that joker lap goes Eriksson. And there's the victory. So our final is set. Our final bracket battle is set, and that will be Fraser McConnell and Kevin Eriksson. Here's our A-Shock Energy Nitro Rallycross Road to the Finish Line. Fraser McConnell, A-Shock Energy pilot, going against Sweden's own Kevin Eriksson, number 23.
Only the second time Kevin Eriksson's made it through to the final. Last time he came off P2 to Robin Larson at ERX. This time, can he take the top qualifier? McConnell, though, has done that twice before, and the last time was at Trois Rivières. But this time, we're in Calgary, looking absolutely stunning. I'm not going to lie, I went out for a few beers the other night. There's ice sculptures, there's lights, there's a skating rink. It's a great town.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Really cool. As somebody would say, a mega town.
It is.
All right, so all the artwork, all the architecture, and of course, the racing, and also one Katie Osborne. She's here in the building in Calgary.
I wish you guys could see the fans behind here. Fraser McConnell, you just got thrown a Converse to sign. You've been thrown shirts. This is just one of those races where these fans have shown up, and really, when you take home a semi, it kind of feels good to come home to all of this.
No, it's incredible. The Calgary fans are really showing out, and the reception is awesome. I'm feeling good. A-Shock is keeping me nice and fueled, ready to go. So, we'll have one more race to go. I'm going to bring it home.
It did look like Andreas was kind of dealing with a few issues we need to work out to see if that was part of it. But from your point of view, from start to finish, how would you describe that race?
You know, I knew the start was going to be crucial. You know, they always are in these races, and you know, just changing track conditions, making the adjustments necessary. I knew Chris was going to be going for it as well. So you know, he's a seasoned vet, and you know, nice to get a back-to-back win on him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As a little redemption, or I guess a little statement saying, "Hey, get this done," and with all of his experience after Troyes as well. One of the fun things was hanging out with your mom during that. She is awesome, and the excitement that she was showing for a semi is really something special. How do you kind of attribute all of your success to your family and the supporters around here?
No, mom and dad are the best parents in the world, and you know, it could be me just going for a Sunday drive, and you know, they'll be cheering me on. So hats off to them. I wouldn't be here without them. And you know, we're gonna, you know, bring home the win and show the world and Jamaica that we have what it takes, and you know, put Jamaica on the map for them.
Absolutely. I think that is exactly why Fraser McConnell is. At least all these fans know that Jamaica exists.
Some great insight there, and yeah, we love the McConnells too. They're always just great supporters of their son, and rightfully so. He's a great stand-up kid. But another stand-up kid that just likes to have a good time, and he had a good time earlier. He's still hanging around. He's just always causing a ruckus. So earlier today, Street Bike Tommy got to know the fans here in Calgary a little bit more.
What's up, guys? I'm down here hanging out in the audience, just, you know, getting the lay of the land to see how people feel about Group E. The race just happened. You know, you had a solid heat. What do you think about these Group E cars?
Oh, it's pretty good right now with the good weather. It's nice.
Yeah, the track's in great condition.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. But it's pretty sick that they're still able to get these speeds out here in this jump. Have you been to car racing before that has this jump with snow and all this?
Never with this jump. It's pretty cool.
Hey, those are sick looking fries. Are there, like, you guys cover all your food with gravy and cheese?
That's right. Nothing better to keep you warm.
Yeah, see, I love it here. You know, you got ice racing, you got beer, you got gravy fries with cheese. My man down here's. Oh man, do you guys got a favorite driver?
No, I'm pretty new to it. This is my first time.
Is this your first rallycross?
Yeah.
Favorite driver?
The hot one.
The hot one? Oh man, Ken Block, that's right. Ken Block forever. The hot one, what kind of features are you looking for?
I like a nice jawline, nice eyes.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to borrow the pit truck. Get out there. Well, we're having a really good time down here. I'm gonna steal some fries or maybe go get my own. I can't. Stop playing! Stop playing! Yeah, I got some popcorn. All right, guys, back to you.
I want to join Tommy on some of those French fries. What you doing over there? What I want to know is, would you describe yourself as potentially the hot driver around here? Because there is a fan out there who's cheering for the hot one.
Oh, yeah, definitely, most definitely, without a doubt. I mean, Travis and the kids, they don't have a chance.
Okay, Andreas, as we were talking about the fact that last race, the commentators were saying maybe you were dealing with a few issues. What was going on?
What was going on? I mean, I was in the fluff in the start, and instead of going forward, I just went sunk. And then following Kevin, he have a very different driving style compared to me. So when we were on that back section, he turned in way too early, and he hit the snowbank on the inside, and I was on my way up there as well. I was like, save the car, bring it back home to the boys. And then, you know, I was struggling. I tried to be following Kevin in his lines, and it just didn't work out for me.
Well, thank you for your time. Of course, the atmosphere around here is so great. And as Andreas Backerud is kind of getting back to signing all of the things such as hats, cans, socks, and shoes.
That dude did not catch the monster can.
Monster fumble right there. He fumbled the monster can.
Not a wide receiver. That was. Good. Andreas is like, can I throw a full can into the crowd? Is this some sort of health and safety thing? And he went for it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, and he humbly said that he is the most attractive.
I know, that was right. I love that. Like, we're doing a form guide based on who's good on the ice and how there is in there. And she's like, I just want I'm cheering for the hot one. Fair go.
There you go.
I mean, we're all good with that.
It's really interesting, here we are trying to explain everything to the fans, and rightfully so. It might be their first race, and that's totally okay. So that's how we take our stance of, like, we treat everybody like it's their first race, and sometimes you do things that are a little bit deeper dive, and that's okay too. But we want you to call your grandma, call your grandpa, hide your kids, hide your wife, come on out. Nitro Rallycross is coming for you, right?
I'm just pleased to see some new fans. You know, like we can't only sell tickets to people who know about Rallycross. It's a great sport. I want, and I know Jared wants, the whole team here want as many people as possible to know about Nitro Rallycross. So if you know someone who isn't watching, send them a message. Tell them you're missing out. Like, there's people in the grandstands here, having a few jars and some, was it poutine?
Poutine.
That's it,
Some
gravy and cheese.
Don't know
chips.
how that's not American. French fries with cheese curds and gravy.
Yeah, it's good.
It's awesome.
New fans.
You can get at McDonald's. You know that too?
Really? Sick. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, I've learned something cool. So good to see some new people who are watching. We're looking at jump practice. I'm pretty sure this was from, it is from this morning, because that's pretty much.
Martel.
Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe this evening as the sun was going down. Look at the rotation in the wheel here. Watch for the rear wheel to get locked as he goes on the handbrake. We don't see it quite so much. And then get that rotation on, and he'll get on the gas and just pull the car out of that corner. Want a big transition coming out there to flick it round to the right.
What's funny here is you're wrapping out and we're actually hearing a combustion engine, because obviously it's normally electric, but there's only 4 combustion engine vehicles. They're heading out there. NRX next.
The number 23 of Kevin Eriksson, looking pretty good out there. Obviously very comfortable, but you notice that Panda. I'm also curious, what's the story behind the Panda in the car?
My daughter is 5 months now, but anytime she sees a Panda, she just lights up. So that's my as soon as I'm on the pre-grid, I look at the Panda, I think about my daughter, and it just gives me a good mood.
Ah, man, I love that. Now, speaking of good mood, you look like you were having a good time, and we're in a good mood behind that wheel. Super smooth, super calm, and that last race.
Yeah, it felt very nice. Obviously, the track is changing so much all the time, so you gotta be alert the first lap and get a hang of it. What have happened during the other guys running? So feeling pretty good. Finally with Fraser now will be fun. So he used to live with me. Kind of like my second young brother. So it's always fun to race him.
Why is that? I think one of the things is really fun is I saw him and Oliver earlier today. When he got out of the car, Oliver went over and whispered something, and you mentioned he's kind of like a little brother as well. Why is that? Why has Fraser blended in so well with the Eriksson family?
I don't know. I mean, the whole family, McConnell is just awesome. Obviously, Fraser spent, his first kind of years in rallycross together with us, and we tried to teach him everything we could, and he did really, really well in both Europe and North America in the lights car. He moved up to supercar, did really, really well in Rally X Nordic. So, I don't know. It's just one really nice guy and friendly family. So we all bonded very well.
Well, I hope you guys didn't give him too much good information because you're going to be going up against him.
It kind of looks like it sometimes. So, but I like him a lot, so it's good for him.
Good teachers over here. Good car drivers as well. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck out there.
All right, so as Kevin Eriksson gets his mind right, plugs his car in, again, keep in mind, electric, 1,000 horsepower. The Nitro Rallycross next vehicles are combustion engine, 4-cylinder, about mid-engine, so half the horsepower, but still very capable machines. 2 very different senses of beast. So as we are taking a look and having a good time.
We're just having food. Canadian food delivered here in Calgary. Look at the beautiful tower. Absolutely stunning. It really is. City lit up at night. It was covered in snow when we arrived a couple of days ago, so temperatures have come up. All Nitro Rallycross are part of the Chinook Blast Festival. Jeez. Tons of outdoor stuff going on. Jared mentioned the artwork. There is some really cool stuff in the streets. Opposite our hotel, there's an upside-down church in the parking lot. I'm like, what is that? So stadiums, the facilities here at the Stampede in particular are incredible. You can just see they're dialed in for big events. They really are. Lovely city. Darkness falling over it. And it's what is it? Saturday? Yes, it's Saturday night.
It's Saturday.
There'll be some party tonight.
Oh,
definitely.
There'll
be some party tomorrow.
I'm gonna take you to a brewery, bro.
Huh?
We're going to a brewery after.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
I got one.
Well, there we go. There's a look down at the venue.
Yeah, again, just such a unique backdrop. Like you said, going to the Calgary Olympic facility, going and skiing there, and just doing different things. You could just see the fans; they're still sticking around. I have my buddy Justin here, who lives locally and is big golf guy here. So just the diversity, and everybody's asking questions and very inquisitive. So I'm really excited to have Nitro Rallycross in Canada, not once but twice, and Montreal, beautiful city as well, Quebec, and then Calgary. And I just think it's just really, really awesome, and I think it's going to be great to, have a season culminate in Glen Helen, which we've been to before. So it's pretty great. NRX next. Speaking of NRX next, we are getting them up to the grid. So the grid is getting set. All 4 vehicles up there.
Casper Janssen on the front row, with Henderson. Remember the title fight between them.
Yep.
Because George McGinnis not here this weekend.
Yeah. Do you know what happened, or he just chose not to attempt?
No, not in too much detail. So motorsport is expensive. It's hard for people to raise the funds to go racing. We know that. Yeah. George is a very promising young driver, and it's a shame not to see him here this weekend fighting for what would have been, certainly would have been the biggest title of his career so far. Swedish junior team there for Casper Janssen. You can see Sweden do such a good job of bringing on their athletes. Many top drivers have come through that program. They get advice on the psychology side of sport, the fitness, all of it. The differences you need to make to get to the top level. Yeah, competing at this level is not just driving race cars. It's about how you present yourself to your sponsors. It's the detail. Look how many Swedes have won stuff at the absolute highest level. Their junior program's exceptional.
All right, we can see all 4 vehicles staged and ready to rip. Fans still sticking around, staying warm. You see the Tooks. Right. All these back 40 motorsports going up against Mr. Janssen. All right, here we go. 30 seconds start on pole. Casper Janssen, the only Swede, but he got the fast pass on the pole. The remaining drivers of Jimmy Henderson, Lane Vakila, and Eric Gordon into the LCQ. So NRX next finals.
All the points, remember, up for grabs from this final. There's 1 today and 1 tomorrow. It's going to give us our North American NRX Next champion. Is it going to be Casper Janssen or is it going to be Jimmy Henderson? Equal on points as we go into this final.
Casper Janssen definitely has the target on his back. There's that wheel spin we're talking about. They don't have to push the pass. They just got to hammer down and find that traction. Casper Janssen banging doors with Jimmy Henderson, and that's what you're talking about. Jimmy, look at, he gets the shot through that chicane, keeping off the bollards. Looks like, he barely nicked it. You saw that plastic, just a little fly.
Fantastic bit of car control there from Henderson. He was so late on the brakes. It looked like he was going to miss it and go deep in the chicane, but he just managed to get the angles right on the steering and just slide the car through, thread the needle through. So Henderson leads Casper Janssen. 2 championship title fighters on the nose over the top for Henderson, pushing as hard as he can. He knows Casper Janssen, 6 laps here, Jared. Yeah. Can try and get it done. Don't forget the joker lap is super long. He needs to give this absolutely everything. If he's going to beat the youngster who rides up the snowbank, Janssen's over the back of Henderson.
Janssen absolutely overdriving, but he is twisting the screws on, look at that, on Henderson right now. But look at that, he is dancing all over. He might have an issue.
Henderson ran wide there. Jared Janssen looked up the inside, then Janssen touched the bank. Remember what Chris Meeks said earlier, you touch that bank, you get sucked in. Henderson's dummied it in, so Henderson jokers from the lead, and he's seen that Casper Janssen has made a mistake behind him. That's not a bad tactic, it's a great tactic. Normally, you come out in traffic, but you're 15 seconds in the joke lap here, so you don't need to think about coming out in traffic quite the same way.
Gain.
So that could be really good.
Different, unique strategy here, and with so many laps, the most we've seen 6 laps in total. That is a lot of racing left. So keep the tires underneath you, which, obviously you kind of don't want to debead, but you want to maintain that traction.
The only thing I'd say about this, Jared, is he has freed up one of the quickest drivers in the series to have clean air in front of him. So Casper now is in control of his own destiny, and with 4 or 5 laps to go, I think he'll stay out for a significant portion. They'll start monitoring the gap now, so at the minute it's 14.3. Now that's about right in terms of Group E. Remember, these cars are not Group E cars. Into the joker goes Eric Gordon from P3. That frees up the the space for his teammates. So that might well be a team shout. Henderson going to slot up into P3. Remember, everyone has to joker once in each of these races. 6 laps and we're halfway through.
Wow, look at that. Casper Janssen tiptoeing through the window out front and just hits that front left. Look at him just getting to the bank.
That accuracy, that is mint. And he's up the gap, Jared, only by a few tenths of a second. It's now 15.007. Nicely done. And 14.9. Henderson responds and comes a tenth of a second back. So this is swinging between these two drivers by tenths of a second. Casper Janssen, I don't think he'll go yet. It's not going to be comfortable enough. I reckon they'll hold on another couple of laps, and he will. He might as well hold on till the last lap, Jared. Just keep pushing, see if you can get it down. Vakela goes as well, so it's just Janssen, the leader, who hasn't jokered.
But like you talk about, that delta, is it gettable? Can they make it?
It's coming hot, too hot.
Oh my gosh.
Henderson's put it in the bales out the back of the circuit. He came in too hot. He was pushing hard.
It's exactly what Pastrana did earlier, but I would say even more aggressively. Hopefully we get eyes on the vehicle and see what happened there from Henderson.
Came in super hot. We're not seeing a split for Henderson yet. That's Henderson, is it? Yeah, it is. That's Henderson in the 44, and the split has gone up to 18.2. He's lost 4 seconds, Jared. He went in super deep on the brakes. He had to try something because he knew Janssen was quick, but coming in too hot. Now Janssen coming up. He'll be told by his spotters, Henderson's made a mistake. You can chill a bit, and he's going to wait for a joker pretty late.
Yeah, interesting. So again, only on lap 4 of 6, and with the length of the joker lap, that's just showing you how critical it is for this North American Championship.
Vakela and Henderson, I think, was it? Yeah, Janssen, look, coming up short on the jump. Nice, getting the car settled on the run down the ramp. Here's the rotation. He was so tight on that left-hand side that he's actually, the clamshell of the body's moving around a little bit. Flick it over to the right. I love the combination of corners up there. Left, right, left. Got to get the transitions right every time. Get the weight transfer, get the car straight, look, and then on the gas and away down the straight.
Yeah, and with that, you're going to find those ruts there, and if you're not in that kind of groove, you're definitely going to disrupt the vehicle and disrupt your line. So, they're claiming that Casper Janssen will retain first, given the current delta of Jimmy Henderson and our leader, Casper Janssen.
Yeah, 17.5. Henderson's just done the quickest lap according to the timing screens of 47.5 flat is what he's done. That's about 4 tenths quicker than Janssen went, but Janssen knows he's got a couple of seconds on him, Jared. Smooth over the jump again. They might just give him the hurry up. I did wonder if he might go joker with 1 lap to go, just give himself a bit of breathing space to make a mistake, but held on until the final lap, and this is going to put one of these drivers, likely Janssen, into the lead in the series with just tomorrow's race to go. But equal points, this may well go to count back.
All right, so Casper Janssen, he's about to enter into that Yokohama tire joker lap. Looks like Henderson does close the gap. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. With Gordon almost being a lapper. No, he doesn't. So not part of the equation. That could have been very interesting, given that all the other vehicles are the back 40 motorsports outside of the Olsberg's MSC vehicle, Casper Janssen. So 17.6 slip. Looks like it got knocked down a little bit, but Casper, there's still a lot of time between Janssen and Henderson. It's going to come down to just one more corner as he exits out of this Yokohama tire joker lap. Not seeing Henderson in the background. Is he going to find himself in close proximity? And no, he's not. Casper Janssen comes out on top and is going to get the victory. 6 laps, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's taken a win at each of the rounds in the North American Series for NRX Next. So great job, Casper Janssen. Takes round 5 here, round 6 coming tomorrow. That's just going to give him a little gap in the points. 1.6 was the margin. 4 seconds lost, remember, so Casper definitely lifted towards the end of that race. Jimmy Henderson continued to push. Casper's going to know that it's by no means a done deal tomorrow. Great drive.
Yeah, really good drive there from Casper Janssen, and saw some tumultuous things, especially through. Whoa, Casper goes around. I believe that might be Gordon, but Jimmy Henderson tried to get him, just not enough racetrack left. Remember, last stop, Nitro Rallycross Group E, the finals. And that will be Fraser McConnell and Ericsson. And here we are from the start. Kasper Janssen and Jimmy Henderson, they really went toe-to-toe. Jimmy had him for a little bit there, but as you said, that strategy coming into play out front, taking that joker out front, it didn't pay off.
Just saw that little mistake, so here it is. Look, Janssen tries to look up the inside, actually after a mistake from Henderson, but puts it into the snowbank, gets sucked in, loses a ton of time. That was a wonderful piece of car control, knocking off the snow which has been put in front of the K-rail down at the first corner after the jump. This was Henderson, he came in too hot, boom. 4 seconds lost because of the momentum. Jared coming through that next left-hander and onto the straight is super fast, but I think it was clever of them to joker that early, because jokering from the lead, you know, with a 15-second joker, went out, would have had tons of space behind, but yeah, unfortunately making the mistake on the brakes meant that it went Jensen's way.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity, but unfortunately did not work out for Henderson. Wait, what are we seeing anything? No. Okay, I think they're still counting some things, so we'll see what happens here. But Kasper Janssen hit that checkered flag first. Seen some things being shaken up, but I think there's a potential mistake.
Yeah, I think he's just done donuts down by the finish line, Jared, so I wonder if that's triggered something with the timing system. Our screens are just showing Janssen in P3, but he clearly won out on track, and we haven't got anything up about stewards' inquiries or anything. We haven't had any stewards' inquiries today. Everyone's been super well behaved.
I don't know about that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, they've been good. No slaps on the wrist. All right, so one more party here today, and we do it all again tomorrow. So again, make sure if you haven't already purchased your tickets, guess what? I think there might be a few you got to check. I mean, we know that tonight was sold out, so definitely want to be here for Sunday here. Nitro Rallycross, Sunday. Group E, all electric, 1,000 horsepower, hot rods. So we have one more stop. There's no cheese and gravy on those, buddy.
No.
You don't want poutine?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll get some later. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna have some chips. Tommy just inspired us, and Katie, I know you came over and snuck some. So go ahead. What do you got, Katie? While we eat.
Yeah, Jasper, congratulations. That was with a little bit of a celebratory with Ollie Eriksson. Looking good in that cowboy hat. Is that your first cowboy hat that you've ever owned?
Yeah, I think so.
Congratulations on that win. Of course, very important championship points. Yeah. Obviously, this is no telling that it's going to come together for you tomorrow. From your point of view in that race, looked like there was a little mistake there at the beginning. How hard was that recovery to make sure to maintain till the end?
Yeah, the start was not good. I lost Henriksson in the start, and he took the yoke lap on lap 1, 2. So from there we just focus and drive.
You did drive it pretty well there. One thing I noticed though is this car looks like it needs a little love. How challenging is it out there, not only for the driver but also for the car itself?
It's really muddy, and it's really hard for the cars, and you go over in the straight or the mud is, it's hard, but it's really fun.
And as it relates to the championship, of course, this is where your eye is on the prize, literally. How confident are you that it's going to come to you tomorrow?
Now we have the win, and it's a little more chill tomorrow, and we go from another win tomorrow, hopefully.
You can see that smile is pretty strong for Kasper. This was a big win for him, of course, knowing that championship is at stake tomorrow here in Calgary.
Stunning views again from Calgary. We're going to take a look back at some of the best action of the day so far. Been good fun, I think. Everyone was a bit worried about track conditions, but for me, visibility has been really good. Grip definitely come up as the sun went down. Temperature went down with it. That meant we got some ice. We're lacking a little bit on the run down the hill there, but who doesn't like to see some sparks off those 325-inch long studs in each of these specially modified Yokohama tyres. Connor Martell, he managed to beat Ollie Bennett in the first of those battle brackets, then came up against Chris Meek. Meek lost the start, went into the joker. It wasn't a perfect joker either. Great battle between these two. Look at Meek, crossed up over the jump. Rally Finland winner. That's easy for Chris. Yeah, he might have lost another one of our cameras, but that's all good. We'll get Insta360 to send us another box. We're gonna need one after the amount we've lost this time round. But yeah, fantastic drive by Chris, dropping into the tunnel. comes out the top here. He said the grip was higher than he thought. There was that nudge on the snowbank on the inside, but here's the merge. Martel just taps the end of the K-rail. The crowd go mad in the background as Chris Meek edges him at the jump, and again, sideways on the landing, the Northern Irish driver going through. Robin Larson and Fraser McConnell. Larson almost jumping to flat in the background. Fraz, though, taking the top qualifier spot last time out in Trois-Rivières. Can he do it again here in Calgary? There are those sparks we're talking about. Sparks will fly if he gets another top qualifier. That'd be 3 for Fraser McConnell. That'd be a record in Nitro Rallycross. He's got 2 so far off the line. The Ericsson brothers, Kevin on the inside, Ollie on the outside. Kevin Ericsson got a rocket ship start in several of his runs this time round. And you'll see Kevin in the final versus Fraser McConnell coming up very shortly indeed. Can he get another one of those banging starts, take his first ever top qualifier, or is it going to be Fraser McConnell making it 3?
OMSE has had
A modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance. Tourism Calgary. We can't wait to welcome you. Start exploring at visitcalgary.com.
It's supposed to be. As it relates to talking with Ollie Eriksson, your brother's going out there and racing. I loved what you said earlier about him, is that he's always in control. My question is how can you always be in control at a track like this?
Yeah, don't ask me, I don't know.
You're not the one always in control?
I don't have control all the time. Obviously not today either. I got beaten by him, he was just better. So, yeah, he's big brother and he showed me this time.
He compared Fraser to a little brother. Now, in my mind, I was thinking, what about Ollie? Does that not make him feel one way or the other? How much do you think that Fraser McConnell is also like a brother to you, big or little?
Yeah, you know, he's raced with us for a long time. He lived with us in Sweden, you know, when he started his rallycross campaign. And yeah, I guess he's a bit louder and takes a bit more room than I do. So maybe they remember him more.
As it relates to him as a driver, what does he really bring to the table?
I mean, he brings talent. I mean, yeah, he's Jamaican. He hadn't seen snow like the week before Quebec. So, you know, he really shows he can tackle every condition. And yeah, talent does that.
You know, I think it was really special that you speak of talent, and you and your brother showed a lot of talent in Trois a couple of weekends ago. For you and the bigger whole of the team in OMSE and the influence that they're really having within this series, how special was that?
Yeah, it was good, you know. We're hardworking guys. Yeah, we make all of the Group E cars, so yeah, it was good to finally, you know, get the monkey off the back. We've been close to wins, but it's always been something holding us back. So yeah, to finally get that chip off was good, I think, for the whole team. You know, get the morale up and everything, and yeah, and on ice as well. It was good being Swede, winning on ice.
Yeah. So speaking of winning on ice, then, and being Sweden, tomorrow the chances?
Yeah, it's Nitro RX, you know, everything can happen here. So yeah, I will sleep good tonight and I'll be ready for tomorrow for sure.
That's Ollie Eriksson, of course, as we get ready for Kevin Eriksson, his brother, to go out against Fraser McConnell.
Well, thank you so much. Again, some great insight there from Ollie Eriksson. Talking about the brotherly love, both some blood and some not, but basically petrol and oil. So guess what? We're having some fun still here. We got one more party on track. But again, continuing the party, my man, Street Bike Tommy.
I'm down here in the little known fact of Nitro Rallycross. Nobody really ever talks about it, but we got some pretty good concessions. We got really rad hot dogs, we got chicken fingers, we got french fries, and up here, they're actually really good. We got great fans having a good time. They got some beers going on. You know, we have substantial dogs here. I don't know if you've noticed, but the size of these wieners around here are pretty substantial. Big, meaty wieners. They're awesome. I'm gonna get a couple wieners. We're gonna have some nachos. We got beverages. You guys having a good time in between the breaks of the races? Like, it's nice to get out of the cold, right?
Yeah, I'm from Quebec, so no trouble.
He's good. He
was minus 47 yesterday. So.
Yeah, he's minus 47.
47 yesterday.
That explains why you're just in like a light coat.
I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Dude, my man. See, I'm appreciated here. Like, I really like the Canadian fans down here. Do you have a favorite racer?
Travis Pastrana. Huh?
Travis Pastrana, that's right. That's my man.
Same to Indy 500.
Yep.
I'll be there.
Okay. What about you guys?
Pastrana for sure. Pastrana for sure.
Pastrana? What kind of concession? Oh, we're on TV.
Hello.
Who's your favorite driver?
Yeah, Travis.
That's right. We're getting the fans going. What are you guys looking for in the concession stand?
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Dude, the smell of popcorn fills this entire hall. It's amazing. Once you get out there, you watch races, you come in here, you get hit in the face with this delicious, buttery popcorn smell. It's amazing. Like I said, popcorn, dogs, fans. It's good to get out of the cold. Hey, bro, what do you got going on here? Routine. Hey, can you hold this real quick?
Yeah.
All right, can I get that?
Yeah. Want a bite?
Check this out. I'm just kidding.
Dude, munch it.
Oh, I can munch it? I can munch it?
Go ahead. Perfect. Hey, it's a little watery.
You're the man, bro. Canadians, right? This is the best country in the world. Appreciate you guys. Back to you.
Is the final battle. Tourism Calgary, thank you so much for having us. What a great event here today, and obviously I am just thoroughly impressed with what's going on here, both on track, off track, the vibe of the people, how much Tommy actually eats during an event. I'm amazed by that, and how much he gets for free, because he just steals it from people. But here is the finals for our A-Shock Energy Nitro Rallycross Road to the Finish Line. You got a Jamaican, Fraser McConnell, and you got Kevin Erickson. Looks like he's already, both these guys celebrating victories, but they got one driver to go through who's going to come out on top. All right, hand it back to you, Katie. He's not in the finals, but he definitely put on one heck of a fight. Chris Meek.
Yeah, of course, we know this is going to be a big battle between Fraser McConnell and Kevin Erickson. Chris, who would you bet your French fries on?
I think it's going to be Swedish French fries. I don't know what they take with their French fries up in Sweden, but it seems to be working. The Ericksons they know how to perform on ice. But Fraser had an incredible race against me. His lap times were incredible. I lost a bit of pace for some reason. My pace all day has been really good. So we have a bit of homework to do on the computer, data engineers to understand why. But it's going to be close final, you know. I have to give it to Fraser. If you look at his lap times there in that semi-final battle bracket, he was super fast. For a Jamaican, that's incredible, huh?
That's really incredible. But we'll see what those Swedish French fries are all about too, potentially, if Kevin Erickson wins, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris, and looking forward to seeing you racing. Well, here we are, split screen with his very own vehicle. So Connor Martell joined us, the Hammer. What do you make of the track? What do you make of your event here today, man? It was close. It was really close with me.
Oh my God, it was the closest race I think I've ever had in Rallycross. Honestly.
Have you seen the merge from the outside yet?
Yeah, I just barely watched it a little while ago.
It's wild, isn't it?
I would rather lose by like 2 seconds than lose by 0.03. I can tell you that.
I can understand that.
Yeah. It was a bummer, but I love the track. It's super technical. You know, the warm weather it's not ice, right?
Yeah.
It's slushy. I love it. It's a total different aspect. It's slide. You have to slide more. It's slower. This guy right here.
Why not throw him over here too? These guys now they can just have it out. You guys are both losers anyway at this point.
Yeah.
Here, just if you want to throw a headset on.
Chris, knock those on. Here we go.
There we go. So,
what's 300s? Is it this or?
Yeah, literally. And I smashed the barrier. I was trying to get over.
You had me beat until that.
It was so
right
close.
there.
It was so
I
good.
had no idea. I said there was no way that I win until the spotter told me. I had no idea.
Unbelievable. And I finally saw as you came into the Joker up the
mistake in
underpass.
the right-hander?
You came in too early, and I still lost.
We said that to Chris. He said the grip was higher than he was thinking. So where's the difference, Connor? Where's the 300s? What can you identify where it was?
Well, the lap I went into the Joker, the second chicane before the finish line, I got way wide, about dragged the bumper on the wall, and I was in all the slick stuff, and I think that would have been a little bit of a difference there.
It's horrible when you know you've made it. Even for you, Chris, you know it hasn't quite gone right.
Yeah, I made several mistakes in that Joker lap, you know.
Yeah.
At least 4
it's
seconds.
It's so close, though.
4 seconds.
That was the
I
best
lost,
race
you
of
know?
the day.
Yeah, it was cool.
Wow,
it was really
and the
good.
most humble too.
Yeah.
All right, so as we are getting ready for our finals there, you guys could stick around. This is great. Would you agree that this event has just been really electric? Probably one of the most electric of the year. No disrespect to the previous rounds, but this has been awesome.
It's incredible. Plus the atmosphere, the crowd here, the promotion, the people from Calgary had done, and They don't mind coming out, sit in the cold weather, but it's a special atmosphere out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sat in the stands for an hour and a half signing autographs.
We saw that.
Everybody was stoked. I mean, I love it here.
Yeah,
I've been here since last Wednesday.
And you and Larson have had one heck of a time.
I'm a resident now, if you didn't know.
What was the highlight? Helicopters, dog sleds?
Dude, honestly, the dog
skating?
sledding in negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What's that?
Cold, mate.
Cold?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wicked cold.
I love the
fact.
That's
minus 30 Celsius?
Minus 30, that's
okay.
cold.
Yeah, it's
now
wicked
we understand.
Cold. Wicked cold. But yeah, helicopter, I saw you playing hockey. You had face things because your face are probably freezing. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be inside the car, and then obviously we're going to pump up these guys, see who comes out on top. 30 seconds to go, and here are the stats. Kevin Eriksson, you see that, 2-time RX2 champion. Fraser McConnell, second in 2021. And again, 8th versus 3rd in position, but it's just all about the stampede. Who's going to come out on top here of these bracket battles? Fraser McConnell, Kevin Eriksson. Kevin has an affinity for his Jamaican brother. Obviously took out his younger brother earlier, Ollie Eriksson, but you can see the focus of Fraser McConnell, A-Shock Energy, DRR vehicle. Kevin Eriksson, the Olsberg's MSE vehicle. Who's going to get the whole shot, that push to pass? We saw Fraser, he uses all of it out of the gate. Does he get through that once again? Here we go, send it, boys. Fraser McConnell there in the A-Shock vehicle, gives a little nudge to Kevin Eriksson. Looks like he gets the jump on him, going in the jump. Remember how far they can actually sort of sky it out, but going through that chicane.
Kevin Eriksson's looked so strong today, Jared, but he's lost the start. He's had a couple of banging starts earlier on in the week today. Fraz TQ last time out. Can he get 2 in a row? But look at Eriksson. He's right up behind him, and he's been so cool and calm and collected. This is going to come down to me to doing the perfect Joker lap as well.
That was a pretty good landing. What do you make of that? I saw you were kind of getting sideways on some of them, Meek, and Connor. You got a little loosey-goosey, but it's tough to kind of pedal back. Am I correct in saying?
Yeah, it's so easy to overjump it. Plus, with the conditions changing every time, the car can just go a little bit sideways before the jump. But this is very close.
This is the closest we've seen someone going in the Joker. Watch Kevin. He's early on the brakes. You see the nose of the car dip down. Get a picture off to the right now, Jared. He was on the back bumper of Fraser McConnell. McConnell now has to nail the standard lap. Kevin Eriksson needs to do the same on the inside. Oh, he's so close to the barrier on the inside line.
Hey, are these poles actually kind of threatening you right there on the left? Because they're making me nervous.
I noticed.
I didn't even know
they were there.
All right, cool. That's good. The sparks fly off the cars on entry, and here comes Fraser McConnell. So let's take a look at this. And like you said, Coley, with it being such a big delta, they're not part of each other's kind of scenario. They're not in kind of the mirrors. They're not there, but you know they exist because of that big delta.
3 purple sectors for Fraser McConnell on the outside lap. The gap is looking like 16.1 at the minute in Fraser's favour, so that would be enough because 14.5 is what was needed. So he's a little bit wide as he comes in tight row.
He launched it at that corner. That was incredible.
That was an aggressive flick, and remember on the radio after his last race, he says on entry it's super slick going in. That was a tidy turn and tight chicane from Kevin Eriksson.
16.3, the gap's gone up. This one's going to be close as Eriksson comes into the chicane on the outside line.
Kevin Eriksson through the chicane. Here comes Fraser McConnell out front, outside of the Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and Fraser McConnell gets the victory and gets the win. The A-Shock Energy Jamaican pilot comes out on top. Kevin Eriksson, look at the smile. You can see the smile with his eyes. What do you say?
2 top qualifiers in a row for Fraser McConnell, who'd never driven on snow and ice until 3 weeks ago. He comes from Jamaica, and he's the first driver in Nitro Rallycross history to get 3 career TQs.
Well done, Fraser McConnell. Fraz, the conversation.
Really good driving here, Bryce. Congratulations, really good.
Thank you guys. Let's go. Big team effort.
And there it is, kissing the egg, feel the rhythm, feel the ride. It's Fraser McConnell time. Some great racing all across the board from the next vehicles and obviously to the Group E. What are you looking at here?
I'm looking at lap times. McConnell and the 2 laps separately.
He made the difference in the Joker lap.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
It's the same when he beat me. He made the difference on the Joker lap.
Yeah. What were you seeing, Chris? Because obviously you went up again. He's getting out. Here comes Fraz now. He's going to get out in front of a massive crowd here in Calgary. Put your hands together for this guy because that is an incredible performance. 2 TQs in a row, both on snow and ice. There is no snow and well, there's ice in Jamaica, but it's not on the ground. It's in the drinks.
It's in the glasses.
Yeah, you know. Go on, Fraz. I wonder if he kissed the egg beforehand. History, 1988, the Jamaican bobsleigh team here in Calgary, and now Fraz has gone and got the TQ.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, Chris, where's the difference then? He got you, and now he's got Kevin.
I thought he had ran wide on that first corner in the Joker, but he launched it at it and he nailed it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know,
carries
he's brave,
more speed
but
through
it
the
worked
tunnel.
for him. Yep.
Taking a look at that start here, what did you guys see? How did that unfold for you, Connor? How about you first?
Yeah, I mean, Fraser got the start, and he just ran a really consistent race. You can see Kevin overjumped this a little bit, but he gathers it up really well. And
he was super close here. That was, like you said, Jared, he was as close as anybody coming into that Joker lap. But this is where, for me, where Fraser makes a difference. You see, he launches this next right-hander. I thought he went wide, but he was able to hold it.
Yeah, so a little mistake by Kevin right there. Understeer into the tunnel, hits the wall down through the tunnel, actually.
Wow, some great racing by Fraser McConnell, gets the checkered flag. Wow, absolutely awesome for Fraser McConnell. Like you said, first 3 TQs and back-to-back in the ice. Katie's with our winner now.
Yeah, you'd think it would be a little interesting to have a Jamaican guy winning on snow and ice. First, congratulations. You got the TQ sticker. I feel like that's going to fit very nicely on your car. And the hat is presented by Carly Savory from Tourism Calgary. It's a whole lot of party around here. And most importantly, the belt. And this is something that is really epic here at Nitro Rallycross. If you haven't joined us, but go ahead and stick that sticker on your car as you enjoy the celebrations. And it is a hat trick for you. Fraser, that was one of those races that I feel as though getting behind the wheel, you could have had a little statement to make. What were you proving out there knowing that it was on the snow and ice?
Nothing to prove, but just pulling back the cool running spirit. They did it here in '88, and now we're doing it in '23 in true Nitro fashion. Big up all the fans that came out. Calgary is an awesome city. I love the fans. I love the people, and I can't wait to come back here next year and try to get the repeat.
As it relates to looking ahead for tomorrow, we have a whole lot more racing for everybody here in Calgary. What's it going to take? What was the biggest challenge, and what's going to be the actual key to winning?
I guess if we can do this again tomorrow, then we'll be able to do it. But, it's a big team effort. It's never done by myself. I get to go out and, be the front man on it. But, it's the JC, DRR guys that really put in the effort. And, hats off to them with my boy hat. And, they're the best.
As it relates to the fan here, what do you have to say to them? Man, you are signing hats, shoes, probably some socks.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, really friendly people. I've loved Canada my whole life. And, just come back out tomorrow for round 2. It's going to be even more fun.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and put that sticker on and enjoy the victory with you and your team.
Thank you so much, Fraser McConnell, for just putting the smile on your face and everybody's face and putting that TQ sticker on your vehicle. And congratulations to everybody that joined us here, either online or in the building. A sold out event here. And I don't know, your kind of closing words here, Coley.
Just great to see such a look at that 1, 2, 3 first ever driver in Nitro Rallycross to get 3 top qualifiers, and to do both of those on snow and ice. The difference is he's going to want to get it done again tomorrow. We've got some format changes for tomorrow as well, just to make sure that we get the job done. With a sellout crowd here, we want to make sure we race all day long, so it'll be a little bit different, but he's going to have to focus and make sure he and gets himself on the front row.
Yeah, adaptation, working around what you're given. And again, everybody's given the same track, but it just kind of changes throughout the day. So speaking of transforming, again, Kevin Eriksson, I'm sure he's got a smile on his face. He just missed Fraser McConnell. Katie's with him now.
Yeah, that's a little shake. He's not so sure it's a smile. It's like a smirk. Or is it how are you feeling after that one?
I really wanted to win, so, not super happy. I was 100% certain I was going to have pole, because I had a better qualifying than Fraser, but it didn't work that way apparently. So, yeah, the start is important. I did a tiny mistake in the Joker. I felt slightly faster behind him, but the start is important.
Yeah, well, when it's timed and it comes down to that checkered flag and it just run out of time to get him, what do you have on you?
I was really tight. I was out of push to pass here, on the start straight. So I used too much in some wrong places. But that's, when you're racing and you want to catch, you press the button too early sometimes. So you get too much wheel spin. So I could have done a better run as well. So tomorrow.
All right. Well, wish you the best of luck tomorrow, guys. Maybe it will be a smile for Kevin Eriksson tomorrow.
kind of a, okay,
I'm the first loser, yay.
Yeah, no, and Kevin's like that, and that's fine. He's absolutely allowed that. But you know what? Let's take a look at the My Energy Best Pass. What do you think it was?
Well, it's a man who stood just over on our right-hand side. Chris Meek wins the My Energy Best Pass. I'm just taking a look at it. He's filming his car behind us, but this was it. It was the crazy merge at the end of the race. Him and Connor Martell.
Notice he changed his race suit because I think he might have had an accident in there because he's a little scared with Connor Martell getting close to him. But yeah, so Chris Meek gets the My Energy Best Pass. And then also the A-Shock Energy Big Air moment. Well, guess what? It was Chris Meek. It was Chris Meek as, again, he gets the My Energy Best Pass and the A-Shock Big Air moment. Rightfully so. He absolutely got after it. So well done, Chris Meek. He joined us a lot here today. Connor Martell. Just some really exciting racing today.
Crossed it up. Look, it's the rear end of the car, bottom now. Off goes the Insta360. Chris has come running back over because he's realised I've won something. So Chris, you want two things. You want the My Energy Best Pass and the A-Shock Energy Big Air moment.
But I didn't win.
You won the here's your participation trophy. Thanks for playing.
Look what you could have won.
Yeah,
Fraser knocked it out of the park again. All fair play to him. It's incredible performance. So, but yeah, I got a bit leery over that jump. Trying to catch Connor. When you're in behind somebody, it's a lot harder to judge your speed. When you're in front, you're your own man to judge your speed, but you're trying to follow.
So these are some of our best moments from today. Fraser McConnell, absolutely incredible. There's Chris. I mean, Chris, if you're going to get beaten by someone, it's always nice you get beaten by the guy who goes on to win, isn't it?
On the last two events on ice, Fraser's knocked me out of the battle brackets and he's went on to win it. So at least I get beaten by the winner, but the young lad never driven a snow before. What he's done is just phenomenal, fair play.
That's good. Well, I think everybody wins. Some great racing, and guess what? We're going to do it all again tomorrow. Chris Meek will be behind the saddle. Myself, Coley, obviously Katie Osborne, and Street Bike Tommy, giving you some education and some entertainment as well. But thank you so much to Tourism Calgary for having us here, and your closing thoughts there.
Absolutely fantastic day. So good to see so many people come out here in Calgary in great conditions, to be fair, and see some brilliant race. We had a great day, and I hope you guys will be with us again tomorrow. Loved it.
Yeah, thank you. On behalf of everybody here at Nitro Rallycross, we'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Send it. Thank you so much, Calgary. Again, Tourism Calgary. The party continues. Let's send it once again here at the Calgary Stampede. Get on the horses, baby. Let's go for it.
You've just watched Nitro Rallycross on your home of champions.
Football fans, it's coming. This Ash Wednesday, the Bob Marley One Love matches at Arnett Gardens. Entertainers versus masters and celebrities, and the referees versus Christian ambassadors. Starting 3 p.m. Sponsored by SportsMax, Western Sports, Water, Boom.